Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GingerTalks podcast. My name is my name is not GingerTalks. My name is Ginger Snaps, but I'm not fucking redoing it. Hello, everybody. That's just going to tell you kind of the chaos that you're in for in this episode. Joining me, as always, is Druid, buddy. It's good to have you back. How are you?
Hi, I'm GingerTalks, and I'm
Shut
happy
up.
to be here.
Fucker.
Well, I've been scooped up from the side of the road. Apologies to all the listeners for my absence. Maybe you preferred the episode, and if you did, well, tough shit, because here he is, he's back. Brittany's back again. I don't think it's the first time I've said Brittany's back. Yes, I feel fabulous today. Yes, I feel like Britney Spears in the Toxic video, and there is nothing that any of you fuckers can do about it. So good to be back. Did get serious FOMO while editing the last episode, hearing long form conversation without me, both freeing and crisis inducing.
No.
Well, you know what's life without a little crisis now and again.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, glad to be back. Glad to be back on the good foot. The car's working out.
Good.
Minimal expense. Had a really a lovely roadside pickup from a guy called Craig. We had to talk for like an awkward amount of time on the road.
Oh, God.
He asked me about MMA, something I know nothing about.
What?
Yeah. Well, this is quite common in the UK. People of a certain... I'm trying to say this tactfully. People of a certain background, especially like men between the age of like 22 to maybe 42, are obsessed with fucking watching people fight. And I like the Rocky films as much as the next guy, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about with this MMA shit. But you know, you know this like pressure you get when people they seem like they're into like tough guy stuff. Maybe this is just like my experience as like a beta male, for lack of a better term, is that I find myself like trying to pander to the MMA conversation. I have to pretend that I know what they're talking about. So I ended up just talking about the fact that Dog the Bounty Hunter's son was an MMA fighter, and he looked very unimpressed.
Whoa.
And I was worried he wasn't going to fix my car correctly because I wasn't man enough.
Oh.
So, if Craig, if you're listening, I know you are. Fuck you.
That's not the first time we've said "fuck you, Craig" on this podcast, and it won't be the last.
Yo, if your name's Craig, turn off now. We don't want you here. Firstly, because like here it's Craig, over there it's Craig. Pick a side.
No.
In this partisan world we live in now, you're not safe.
Oh, God.
You know. Well, so I'm gonna stop talking. You can tell I'm excited to be back. I've had a week off recording podcast episodes, so now the verbal diarrhea is flowing so readily. So I'm, really ready. Glad to be back. Long story short, editing this out.
Are you, though?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have the time for that.
So, well, we're glad you're back. I mean, honestly, glad you're back. And, we're back to kind of regularly scheduled chaotic programming. And this week, our guest, who's been sitting very quiet and patiently, and I love her dearly, is the wonderful Frost Louvre. Frost, I am so happy that this is finally happening. I've wanted this for so long.
I know. It's been a long time coming, and I love you more, Ginger.
No.
I love you 3,000, darling.
No.
An infinite loop of that. You can't beat it. Sorry.
God damn it.
You gotta deal with it. Hello, everybody.
So, for the uninitiated, Frost is a fellow Twitch streamer who is just a phenomenal human being. And Frost and I actually have a very interesting story on how we got to know each other.
Isn't it always an interesting story how other streamers meet each other?
It's just
on this platform.
It's the goofiest fucking thing. Like, because I didn't know who you were, knew nothing about you until someone we know mutually had said something about what all had happened. And if you feel like divulging, that's fine. You don't have to if it's not something you want to talk about. But
oh no, we can. Please just go ahead and just tell the story.
Okay.
Please.
So I am hanging out, talking to streamer friends, former guest of the podcast, Authentic. He had posted in his Discord about this streamer who had gotten follow botted back when the big botting was happening. I think it was July-ish. And Frost got follow botted, and in the process of removing the bots, all of her followers were gone. All of her frostlings.
Yes,
And-
my entire channel got wiped.
And
Oh, shit.
yeah. And Frost was the second person within a month that happened to, that I had heard of or like knew and everything. And so we were just trying to rally to help get her numbers back up and show some solidarity. Because those of you from my Twitch community, you guys know that I'm like, nah, this person had a bad thing happen. We are bombarding them with love until they fucking break.
Yeah, and it's a great thing about Twitch communities that people hear those stories and have that empathy enough. Even if you don't know that person, good people will come and support you.
Yeah.
It's insane though, the amount of support that I got from so many people that I've met on the platform who I had either raided or have just met through in games of, Warframe or Dead by Daylight or Phasmophobia. It was just an insane amount of love that was shown that there's really no words to describe it, to be honest with you. I was just overwhelmed with so much feelings.
Yeah. I mean, I know for me, like, I unfortunately, like, right now, I don't have a ton of time to be super active in your channel, but whenever you're live, unless my computer is just like, fuck you, your stream is open in the background. And I'm coming up on my 7-month subscription renewal is waiting, and I haven't redeemed it
Oh, jeez.
on stream yet because I want to redeem it when, I can devote attention to talking to you a little bit. But I was sitting there and, one of my community members had said, hey, can we talk about Frost? And I said, absolutely. And I started talking about you, and then you fucking showed up in my chat. And I was like, oh.
My ears were ringing that day.
Really?
I don't know. I mean, I just sporadically show up. Anytime someone just says the word Frost, it's like I'm all of a sudden summoned out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, you do have...
I have that effect on people.
Yes. But, I mean, watching someone who had 3,000 followers and that happened to, I saw how shitty that was. And I've been follow botted. I've been doxxed. I've been on that receiving end. And just for that to happen to anybody else made me feel so bad. So I was like, if you guys don't go support her, I swear to God, go show the love, goddammit. And now, not that he's super present right now because of school, but one of my mods also mods for you.
Yes.
And like it's one of those things where it's like, supporting friends is all I want. And that's I keep bringing it back to this. Supporting our friends is why this podcast exists.
Exactly.
And
That's phenomenal.
Watching you grow and flourish just makes me so happy. And I'm just like, ah.
Oh, come on.
I'm
I just
proud of
honestly
you.
just No, I'm proud of everyone I've met on here. Like you and Toaster. Like I bombard you too a lot of the time. Fucking Toaster like comes in my stream and just like dumps subs and I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
And then he like disappears. I'm like, oh, you sneaky. Okay, all right.
Oh, trust and
I've had to be
believe.
like a watchful eye between you two.
We might be chaos
Yeah.
monsters. It's all right. It's fine.
It's okay. I mean, have you seen my chat? Have you seen my content? It's pure utter chaos. I am the boner hunter of Dead by Daylight.
I love it. So Frost and I are it out of context, it just sounds so weird, but Frost and I are planning on building boners together, and boners are the totems in Dead by Daylight. Because we both
Yes,
play-
we're building those hex totems. So
Yes.
yes, anytime you hear us say anything referencing a boner in game, or in Phasma for that matter, it's
Right.
literally referencing the totem or just bone parts that we're finding.
Yeah.
Can I
I
just
always
say?
have to do that.
Can I just say, as a layman, all the talk we've had about boners before the recording started is making way more sense.
Right?
Right?
Like before, I thought like you'd like bought like a bionic man like on Amazon Prime or something. I'm like so glad. I was thinking this podcast I was gonna have to like be talking about how to like mold Play-Doh or something. Phew.
We're gonna give you guys like a full-on step-by-step tutorial on how to take down these boners. You know?
Yeah,
Just-
it's gonna be it's gonna be okay.
and me and Ginger are gonna be building these boners on streams. So
yes.
it's gonna be really fun once we get all the pieces and parts for it.
It's the pieces and parts thing because like my life has been absolute chaos since we were just like, yes, let's do it. And your life has been chaos. And
It has.
it's just because in the
Fucking
last
moving, starting a new job, and then juggling multiple things. I just
yeah.
did a TV show and a movie within these past few weeks, so I've just been running on fumes.
Yes. It's so I'm excited to see how things are going for you. I know the I just want to stop for 5 minutes. Druid
That's all we want.
right. Druid tells me that I work too much, and I feel like he would tell you the same thing.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing because like his something we constantly like touch on in the podcast is like I don't think people that don't do it, people that don't stream, and people that aren't content creators, they don't realize how much work. Like, if you think like how long a stream is, it's like hours long. But then there's hours outside of that, like building, like all the things that you need to make that, like the hours of streaming happen, all the time you need to dedicate to, you know, regular streams, making sure all the equipment's like up to scratch. How much like of yourself you've got to give to that community to make that shit work. You've got to be like a master of everything. You've got to be like an audio engineer. You've got to be like an expert on video. You've got to have like the right hardware to make all these like really like intricate games work in real time for everyone in a way where it doesn't break up. Which is why I was really feeling for you, hearing that you lost so much, like all that work that it takes to bring you to a point where you've got 3,000 followers. Like that must have been a bitter pill, man. That must have been really hard to like come to terms with. Like, oh shit, it's gone. But then having that there where people allowed you a space to bounce back just shows why it's worth spending that time, right? Cultivating that community and that kind of spirit in your stream.
I think so. I mean, Frost. So Frost didn't have quite as many followers when she lost them all, but Frost's setup is more intricate than mine, and mine is an absolute dumpster fire some days. Like I fully know that, but and Frost is also a very very good editor. Like I
Oh, stop it.
no, because I'm editing for my day job. I'm editing video right now that has about 15 to 20 more elements than a typical YouTube video for me does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like my boss likes she wants it like Mr. Beast quality with bare bones components, and I'm just like, fuck everything. But like just all of the shit that goes into that, and watching your like monthly stream highlights, and I can't even fathom editing for like TikTok and Instagram on top of YouTube, like all those things. Fuck that. I'm good. Like, nah, fam. I'm gonna let you young pretty people do it.
I mean, being a content creator is hard. It's not
is.
easy.
The word is holistic. It's just especially now, you've just got to be fucking everywhere at once.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's draining. I can't even like keep up with this, and it's all right. So I edit audio on a computer that may as well be a toaster, right? But it's a completely different level when you're editing for all these different platforms. You've got to cut. It's so much more than just the moment where you're creating the work. It's all that stuff around it. It's just like, it blows my mind. When we have so many people that work hard on the podcast, that it makes me feel guilty that I'm sat here trying to make sure that the podcast hasn't got 13 fart jokes in it. It just has like 9.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then I act like it's a hard time of it, but like it sounds like you've got you're trying to cover all the bases for us. So how do you like balance that? Like how much time you spend on each platform and growing each platform, or is it just you're thinking of growing like the whole kind of personality of yourself as a whole? Is there like a battle or a struggle in that, or have you got it mapped out?
Oh, I definitely don't have it mapped out. It's always chaos. I try and produce as much as I can on Twitch, and then I take highlights or blooper reels, gag reels, and put those on YouTube, and I try and keep up with try being the keyword with real like things that are trending and things like that. So I don't know if Ginger's seen any stuff on my Instagram lately. I've been doing a lot of cosplay transition stuff on there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've done like my creepy clown stuff. I've done Chucky. I've done Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
More of that stuff's coming up because Spooktober is going to be insane this year. I'm super excited for Halloween already, and we're only in April.
Hell
so,
yeah.
It's Halloween all year round for me. I'm sorry.
we're sub 200 days to Halloween, and I'm fucking stoked.
Oh yeah, I'm already getting everything planned out for that. But yeah, back to content. There's days where I have it all balanced and scheduled and figured out, and then there's months where I am so frazzled that I'm trying to cram everything out within like the last week before everything needs to be on the channel or the platform at the time. So right now Twitch is very scheduled. I'm on Tuesday, Fridays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's a locked in set thing for me. So I keep that one pretty consistent. YouTube and Instagram is kind of, it fluctuates just depending with my full-time job, because I edit for my full-time job. I'm a digital content producer. So once I get home, it's like I work out and then I just want to like game or sleep or just hang out with people.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and then you're like editing at work and then going home and like, fuck, I've got to make a TikTok now out of my content.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like more work, right?
It's more work, but when I have those like really great moments on stream or just something like just offset in someone else's, it's like, oh, that's perfect. That's something I can go up there. It's just a matter of just, fitting it into TikTok format and just adding text on top of it or some silly, goofy sound effects just to make it appealing, because that's just the name of the game, is that you have to make things, it's got to be almost like clickbait.
Right. And that's like, I do very, very fucking minimal editing on my YouTube videos, and very rarely do I have a game that's on my YouTube that I've also played on Twitch. So I talked about this on stream recently, that I always pick hard mode for everything. Like,
Why would you do that?
I chose to be a variety streamer, which is hard mode for getting like for gaining traction on Twitch. Every game I play, like if I play a game that involves a gun, I find a gun that I like early on, and that gun stays with me through the end. It doesn't matter if something better comes up, unless it's significantly better. I'm like, nah, fam, I'm gonna keep this fucking pea shooter because this pea shooter still mows down the big guys. It just is a little bit more challenging. And then I get to the big boss and I switch out to the good guns, and I'm like, that was fucking easy. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely, I do that every time. About 3/4 into the game, I realise that I've been, playing it like I've got no hands for starters. I may as well have been playing with my feet. And you get that upgrade that changes everything, and you don't access it until you're like on the final hour of the game. Yeah. That's my default setting because I'm not very good at menu management, right? On games, because it just seems a bit like fucking what the Simpsons tapped out to me at first, but like really, you need to be getting into that shit.
So I got Druid to play Dead by Daylight with us, and it's always when Druid is the most like inebriated. It's like fucking 4 a.m, and he's just like, all right, yep, fuck it, nope, we're fine. And he plays Bill Perkless, and just like, he's gotten a lot better. And then he just we haven't played together for so long because he's had so many things going on in real life, which is absolutely fine. But the day he picks Dead by Daylight back up, it's because
it's all because you say I'm inebriated, but I have to be at that point before I agree to it because I know it's in back. Because all you guys just seem like absolute, and I know it's not the case, but all you guys seem like you should be like MLG in that shit to me because it's just like fucking on it all the time. I see Michael Myers come out at the screen and like I start like fucking like I don't know what to do. And this is after like 35 minutes of like running in a circle outside the building.
But you know who the best person to play prop hunt with if you pick up Call of Duty to play prop hunt? It's this motherfucker right here, because he'll find the perfect spot, or he'll just be like hovering in the air above where nobody's gonna fucking look, and he's just locked into position, not fucking moving. And it's like, listen here, motherfucker. How are you so goddamn good at this?
My therapist would say it's because I hide my true feelings in everyday life.
God damn it.
So in many ways, my psyche is a rogue prop that even I can't find.
I mean...
So like when I'm having a mental health crisis, all I hear is, that sound, the whistle.
Oh, yeah, the
I
taunt.
can't find it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that joke really landed.
Well, it's because Discord cut your first whistle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't. Yeah, so I'm so good at hiding things that you couldn't even find the first whistle.
Yeah, but the thing, like, we refer to this a fair bit. I mean, you've done music for so long, Druid. I wonder how much of that feels similar to making your own music. Like 100% you start the process of writing to putting out the finished project all 100% by yourself. No one, like, you're playing every single instrument, you're doing, like, that's kind of the comparison of everything content creation to like the music world.
Yeah, I suppose so. To be fair, that whole like, I'm a solo artist. That's kind of new. But yeah, it does take time because like you're essentially being like 5 people at once, right?
Mm.
So you've got to think but you know, again, like I can do that on my own terms, and with music, it's kind of different because you release stuff as you release stuff, right? And you release it when it's ready. And I'm not saying that you put stuff out there as a streamer or a content creator that's not ready.
I
But
do.
what I'm saying, but I would disagree. I would disagree. But what I'm saying, how it differs when streaming is at the center of your content creation universe. Let's say the Frost and Ginger cinematic universes. When streaming is at the center, it's so schedule based, and it has to run like clockwork. And if it doesn't run like clockwork, then you're at risk of losing people, to other streams, to disinterest and things like that. I think kind of streaming and content creation in that way, there's an added level of pressure to always be present, and your kind of presence has to exceed just the stream. There's like a personal, and you make friends when you stream and you create a community, but then you put in so much time into things outside of the stream to keep that community going. And I'm not saying it's work, but it's creating like your own fucking empire, man. Whereas music, I make the song, I put it out there, and I try to leave it like not too long, maybe a couple of months before the next thing's out when I'm really working on a project. But it's not like I'm expecting to go in 3 times a week and interact with people, and then outside of that 3 times a week keep that momentum going, whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, and a Discord community and all the rest of it. Like, it really has the ability to like kind of take over everything you're doing. And I think that there's one side of it where that can be exciting and energize you to keep doing it, but then there's also this other side where it can swallow you and take over everything you're doing. So I think it's much harder to balance that. And Frost and Ginger, of course, and everyone that streams listening, a lot of streamers listen, a lot of streamers come on the show, and I've said it time and time again, I have the utmost respect and admiration for that discipline that you all show in that way. Really quite something, and it takes a lot, but you give a lot out. Yeah, really appreciate it.
I mean, I don't know if it's the same for Frost as it is for me, but I create content not just for others, but I do it for myself. Like, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good to make people, laugh and joke and have a good time, or if we need to have a serious, like, come to Jesus with chat talk. Like, I mean, I'll have those moments. Like, I mean, that the day that I got the call that my dad was in the hospital, as I was hitting the go live button, I had the talk I needed to with Chad to be like, hey kids, I'm having a bad fucking day, but we're gonna date some dads. Let's fucking go. Like, I mean,
isn't that just a goal to date a dad?
I mean, but I mean, for me, it's worth what I put in, what I get out of it is huge. And like, I know I kind of did the thing to Frost where it's like, hi, you're an inspiration, you're someone I look up to. Maybe not in those exact words, but that's what I did to her. And she's just like, what?
Well, what? It's in those exact words now.
It is now. Hi, Frost, you made a fucking goddamn good comeback, and I'm proud of you, and you're wonderful, and I just, can't wait to give you a big old fucking hug.
Oh my gosh, I have the biggest smile right now, I swear, Ginger. If I could hug you right now, I would. But no, I have to agree with Ginger. Like, I started streaming when we were in lockdown that first year of the pandemic. So October of 2020 was when I first started. And I primarily started streaming for myself because I was going through a depression at that point because there was no interaction, and all my gaming friends are like, well, you should just try streaming. I'm like, where the fuck do I start with that?
Right.
I was like, I don't even know if I want to show my face. I was like, I am such a quiet person IRL that I don't even know if I can like portray. So started streaming, and I started meeting all these great people, and those people who are now like part of my community, or even if they're just people who just come in and lurk, like I stream for them. Like, granted, yes, I still stream for myself, but for more of anything, it's for the people that I'm reaching and that I'm able to befriend. And I've had some people who were in really dark places that have vented to us in chat, and there was one who sadly was having thoughts of suicide, and we all just like literally like stopped our game, and we were just like, okay, we got to have this talk. Like, DM me now, like we need to talk. Here's the numbers that I have for suicide prevention and things like that. If you need someone else to talk to, because I am not a professional. However, these are the lines that I know that can help you. So, and seeing them bounce back and then being in a better place now in their life it warms my heart, and that makes me continue doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it's just a phenomenal feeling that, as crazy as it is, when Ginger was, saying like I was inspirational, I'm just like, how? Because it's hard to see yourself as like that, but it's like
100%.
you have all these people that come back because of like, you make them feel better, and it's almost like you're like their light for the day or something. So, and that's how it is for like when I'm watching Ginger or Floof or Viper or JG. It's like all these people who I am always known to support. I have like 30 tabs open every other day. I have a stream going on my Xbox. I have my computer going all at the same time. My internet probably hates me for it.
Right.
But it's gonna have to deal with it. It's like so many people that you have to support because they've supported you, and it's just there's no other better feeling than that. And I truly love what I'm doing, and I would absolutely love to make this something as like a full-time thing. Because if I can just be goofy, and I mean, I've started making people flip out over the fact that I've added the Cantina song to my stream.
Right.
And I kid you not, I've had to dance to that every single time with lightsabers, mind you. And chat spammed it so hard the other night. 6 or 8 times back to back, I had to do this Cantina dance. And they were just having a fucking field day with it. I'm like, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed. I am a Star Wars fan. Everyone can just suck it if you don't like it. I have to do this.
Yeah.
And that's why this is the episode with the highest Metachlorian count.
Well, and that's, it's one of those things where, like, my chat trolls me. Your chat definitely trolls you. And
100%.
like, I mean, it's the nature of some of this. And I have been using this quote a lot recently. There's been some events in my life that have prompted this, but a man's reach should exceed his grasp. And as streamers, as public figures, as influencers, we forget our reach, and we forget how we touch and affect people's lives. Like, it's such a weird fucking thing. Like, my boss was over here working. We were working in my apartment today, getting ready to go to this convention in California next week, and we have the potential. There's 2,500 attendees that work with school age kids. What we do, like, I think her overhearing me say that today, like, made her brain just fucking start kicking into high gear, because she doesn't realize that her reach exceeds her grasp. she lives her life so much in just this little bubble of what's around her, and it's like, nah, bitch, we've got programs in 150 schools teaching kids valuable fucking things about life through magic. Like, it's the same thing with streaming, just in a different way. Like, uh what we do, because we do it for ourselves, and then we forget that, like, we have positively impacted other folks. And it's such a weird, like, my stomach always gets a little like when I think about it, but it's fucking true. And I know for me, that's the would I love this to be my full-time job, and me not have a day job, and me not have to deal with other people, and absolutely. However, right now that's not the case, and I'm okay with that. The money is not what keeps me doing it.
No, exactly. For me, it's the people that I have just been there, who have been there for me, and I've been there for them. Like, it's the people for me that I wanted to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Well, and there's also the thing of, like, if you it's like a mixture of hard work and luck, I think.
Mhm.
But you can see those people a mile away that are doing it for the wrong reasons. And I think as soon as you change that mindset of it's not for the community, or it's not because I want to put something out there, and it's like I want to make a bunch of money, that shit stinks. Like, you can smell that a mile off. You can, it's why so many people, like content creators that begin to make money and begin to love making money, that's why their content drops off, I think, because, like, I don't need a detailed plan of how everyone's manscaping now, right?
Right.
Well, not that, and please, Manscaped, if you want to get in touch, the business email, not easy to find, but you could
It's on the
ask us.
website. It's on the website.
Yeah,
Just find it there.
yeah, I'll pretend I'll use the weed whacker just like fucking H3 does, or whatever. I will sell out right now. But no, this happened to me in music, right? I think there was a time where I could have took off and done some interesting things, and then maybe the machinations in place where you kind of have to sell your soul to rock and roll, man, can come at a cost of what you're creating. And if what you're creating is coming at a cost and hoping to make it, and you're forgetting the people that brought you there, the spirit of the thing, when you lose that, you lose the value in what you're doing. Which is why it's just great to hear two creators talking about how they touch people, how they can make a difference, how they can do things for themselves. It's refreshing to hear, especially in the age of the the bitch slap that like button, right? And then you tell people to bitch slap that like button, and then read a Wikipedia article about a dead celebrity poorly.
Yeah. It's well, and like, the day that I get recognized in public by someone who has found me from, like, the podcast or stream or from YouTube, and it's like, ah, yes, I live in a rural-ish area. Hello,
Mm.
random person who knows who the fuck I am, and I have no idea who the hell you are. Like, what? Hello? Like, I saw someone that I know, one of my mods, wearing a piece of my merch. She came over to my house to help me uh, get settled after moving in here. And she wore the merch that she bought. And I was just like, holy fuck, that's someone wearing a piece of clothing that is part of my brand. Like, what? Huh? Like, it's such a weird fucking feeling. I don't know if you've ever encountered someone who recognizes you from stream who you don't know, Frost, but
Not yet.
you will soon enough. I'm sure.
Oh, I am looking forward to TwitchCon because I know people are gonna come and be like, "Hey," it's just like, "Oh God, give me a username.
Right.
I see a face. I need a username."
Right. I've been on one date since I started streaming. We've also been through a pandemic where I fucking refused to meet a rando at his house and
Aw.
show up with a negative COVID test. Sorry, bro, not happening. Thanks. But I've been on one date. But dating when you're a fucking content creator is so difficult when you're trying to juggle all the different platforms and all the different things and taking time for stream and then taking time for self-care and like supporting your friends. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not taking time to date for nothing. Like, I can force and shoehorn time in there for dates, but it's like, hey, so we're catching an early dinner. We're not going to a movie because I have to go home and play a video game where I'm shooting aliens. Peace out. And he's just like, okay, sure. You want to catch a movie Friday? Sorry, I'm playing a different video game where I'm being chased by a serial killer. Like, it's it.
Yeah, and then Brad says like, "Cool, well, I follow college ball."
Right. It's like, fuck,
Not much to do
man.
with that.
Like, I can't even fathom. Like, I've jokingly said this, but I think it's true. If I'm gonna date anybody, I need to date someone who understands the content creator life.
Yeah, that's really hard to come by.
Well,
Right.
you know, it's like the Hollywood thing, right? Because they're so embroiled in like going away and taking roles for 3 months that the actors just end up dating each other.
Right.
But then but they're all in
Exactly.
LA. They're all in LA. They're all in Hollywood. They can fucking meet up in between shoots. But with streamers, it's like, well, I'm kind of friendly with this guy from California, but I live in like fucking Michigan. Like, what am I gonna do?
Right. Like, I I can't even imagine because you also, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also model for us, right?
I used to, yes.
Okay. Uh, Last I remembered seeing a profile you had written about yourself, you had also labeled yourself as a model, which fucking more power to you. Not me. Okay, thanks. But
Come on now. No, I haven't been a model since right before the pandemic, so
okay.
yeah, it's been 2 years.
Yeah. It's just
all my modeling dreams went during the pandemic with all that DoorDash shit going on.
Oh fuck, man.
Oh, let me tell you, man, pizza was my best friend during the pandemic.
you you eat fairly healthy though, and you work out. At least what we see on stream.
Yeah, when everyone makes me do like 25 squats, the most I've done on stream squat wise is like 250.
Fuck. And see, that's why I don't put workout or food challenges on my stream. Like Bean Boozled, yeah, sure, whatever. Like,
Ooh, yeah, I do that every night.
yeah,
Bean Boozled's every stream.
yeah,
And spicy nuts now. JG has inspired me to do spicy nuts now, so.
oh my gosh, it like, but people who are just like, yes, let me do a durian fruit soda pop, or I'll drink this bacon pop, or I'll eat a raw onion like an apple. I'm like, nah, fam. Like, I'm fucking good. Like, I already get people trying to like body shame me enough. I ain't adding to it. But like, nah, fam, I'll do something else. Like, meme the shit out of me some other way. There's plenty of ways to do it. But like, and I don't do workouts on stream because it's the one thing I'm still a little self-conscious about, because I was a gym rat for a few years. Contrary to popular belief, I used to be a gym rat. So one of my community members has lost like 60 or 80 pounds since Christmas. And she officially weighs less than I do. I carry my weight differently than she does. But like, she'd call me and she's just sitting there with her little fucking bike pedals that sit on the floor, and she's just fucking pedaling. She's like, yeah, I'm like 15 minutes into my hour, and I'm like, holy fuck. Like,
Jeez.
but she's devoted to being healthier. Like, she's just like, no, I'm tired of being unhealthy. Like, that's not my thing. And I was like, hey, I know we haven't, like, the last time we worked out together, I was doing things that you were just like, what? How? I don't understand. If you want me to teach you how to do those and maybe keep me accountable to actually going to the gym, let's do it. And I haven't been to the gym and she's still losing weight. So
Right. I'm a bit of a gym rat in that I hang out by the garbage cans outside the gym and eat all the fucking leftover fucking food, man.
I just had
Serious.
the mental image of you of what the fuck was that meme of that rat with the pizza rat? The fucking
Oh, yeah.
the rat dragging the slice of pizza through the fucking New York subway.
Yeah, that's me.
Sorry, I just had that image and I could
That's
not.
that's such good energy. You know, if you're gonna do it with a fucking pizza slice, man. New York style. The best slice in Brooklyn.
Oh,
Fuck working out, man. Like, you know, I tried it once. I used to run, and then my therapist told me to stop running away from my problems. And one of my problems was I felt tired every time I would go out running. So I stopped that. Working out so hard. Real gym rats. Like, they weigh their food and they eat that boiled chicken every day, and I just couldn't do that, man, because I love curry. But I'm the worst kind of unhealthy because, like, I'm not like, I'm super unhealthy. Like, don't get me wrong. But I'm like, it doesn't like go on me in that way. It just makes me tired. It doesn't like come out in weight. It just makes me tired when I go up like long flights of stairs. So like, I'm damaging my body and just think it's fine, but deep down I know it's not, and I'm just sit there in like the throes of guilt, just wishing I could do some cardio that wasn't I don't know, just getting out of bed and getting back down. That's not too. And shame on the people that made Frost do 250 squats.
Right. That's. I've seen, what was it, you and Viper doing squats in tandem, or like seeing who could do the most squats at this, like it within a certain amount of time. I can't remember what the whole
That was so the certain amount of time one that was Viper and I believe JG, but me and Viper did them in tandem together when they both our chats were redeeming at the same time, so we decided we were gonna just do each other's squats together.
Yeah, because I remember watching that and I was just like, oh, okay. But like, because here's the thing, I don't eat very unhealthily. I did when I went to visit the family in February. I don't remember if I've told this on the podcast or not, but my mom, she cooks Kentucky Southern style, where if she's making a German potato salad, she's frying the bacon in bacon grease and adding the bacon grease that she added to the bacon and the bacon grease into the mix for the German potato salad on top of the potatoes that were mashed with bacon grease, or like cut up and like seasoned with bacon grease, and everything else that went in it had a scoop of bacon grease in it, and the meat was cooked in 3 scoops of bacon. Like, you can get where I'm going with it.
Yeah, you've just doxed your mom as being Harley Morenstein.
Like, it's that fucking down home, stick to your ribs. I put on weight the 10 days that I was back home. I put on probably 15 pounds, and I was eating less than I do when I'm here at home. Like, I eat very lean, I eat very healthy, I use a lot of seasonings, and I don't have, because fat is where the flavor is. I don't have a lot of that, like, in my food. So I season like a son of a bitch, but I'm like, I eat very, very lean. And so like my roommate and I will go out and get something and she goes, You're not hungry?" And I was like, "Just because I'm fat don't mean
Yeah.
don't mean I'm not full." Like it's such a fucking weird thing. And my every doctor I've been to, they're like, "You, besides just being heavier, your heart is fucking strong, super healthy. Like your blood pressure is perfect. You're not pre-diabetic. Yeah, your knees and your hips are upset, that they're in a lot of pain, but I played contact sports for years. Like it's just something that
Right.
kind of happens when you turn fucking 30 and you weigh as much as I do, but you also, played football and basketball and you were a sousaphone player. Like all those kinds of things just fucking added up. But then you compare it to like guys from the stand-up scene that I know who are fucking smoking 2 packs a day and drinking a case of beer every night and smoking a bunch of weed and just slamming pizza and stuff. They're rail thin, but they're like, "Yeah, my blood pressure is real high." And I'm like, "Well, no fucking shit, jackass."
Yeah, fucking those solid gold arteries.
Oh my god. Like, but I
You know,
don't I don't like the thought of working out on stream because I'm not always wearing clothes that I'm super comfortably being like, "Hi, you're seeing all of, you're seeing my legs, you're seeing all of it." I'm just like, "Oh fuck, that's a lot of work."
yeah, yeah. And what's his name again? The workout guy. You're also playing video games, man. You're not
Mhm.
Richard Simmons.
Oh my god. I'm not that gay. I'm gay. I'm not that gay.
I like to think of him like the Bob Ross of the body.
Right, right. It it's just, and this is not me dogging on anybody. Like social one of my buddies, social lit man, he he has workout redeems. Frost has workout redeems. Viper has them. Does JG still have them on? I haven't been to his stream in forever.
I mean, JD does teabags, so technically he's doing teabagging squats,
Okay.
basically. But he rolls the dice and sees how many he actually does, so it can vary.
Okay. So I mean, like, I've got nothing against it, but like, I'm a, though that's just, I don't know. I feel like I'm such a contrarian sometimes, and I'm just like, no.
Also, though, I love that teabagging regime. That's like the Master Chief 2003 workout plan.
The teabags.
Yeah, seriously, wow. Isn't it amazing how teabagging made its way into the social consciousness through gaming and fucking Stifler?
Right. Well, Frost, have you played Midnight Ghost Hunt?
No, I have not. I've seen the gameplay for it. Have yet to play it.
Okay, so it likes to melt my graphics card, which makes me real sad.
See, that's what I've been hearing, and I'm afraid to even just start playing it.
But I enjoyed it. Like, don't get me wrong. Midnight Ghost Hunt, you are the combination of kind of everything that I want in a game like that. Absolutely. And the execution is done really well, but like the frames drop in my streaming software. They don't drop in the game themselves, which is the really sad part. But it was so fun, but it was one of the first times I had been in a public lobby in a very long time. And I don't count Dead by Daylight because sometimes the crouch mechanic is used as a thank you, sometimes it's used as a fuck you, sometimes it's just like, yes, do the thing.
Well, just like sometimes real teabagging's used as a thank you.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, basically, if we're healing each other, stuff like that, like you'll have like a team, like it's like a courtesy thing almost.
Right.
Like, oh, thanks, because I'll do like a 1 tea bag as like a
Oh.
yes, 2 for no, or a couple for a thank you.
Right.
If it was like I was about to literally drop dead, so
But
Yeah, the DBD curtsy.
yes.
the DVD courtesy.
But in Midnight Ghost Hunt, I was sitting there and I watched a hunter get teabagged after the ghost had killed him. And I was like, wait, we're actually maliciously teabagging? Wait, what? What? Like, it's one thing to be like, huh, my friend got downed, fuck you, teabag. Like, it's one thing to like fuck with your friends, but randos in a public lobby. It had been so long since I had seen that. Even in my Call of Duty days, when I was playing Call of Duty heavily, there wasn't even a whole lot of that happening either.
Yeah, well, it's how very Xbox 360.
Right.
I'm gonna teabag you. I mean, who's this, like fucking Randall from Recess?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna teabag you. Who is this fucking guy? Who's the guy in the lobby, man?
Right. Like,
You know what I mean? Rocket League is really bad for it. It's like taking a total blast from the past, and you're like, guys, I thought we were past this.
yeah. Like, and the dude who was teabagging, I looked later, he had been like playing Midnight Ghost Hunt in the very early days, and it's just like, okay, cool, you're sandbagging a noob, cool, like whatever. And I just moved on because I've played enough Dead by Daylight that I'm just like, yeah, cuck. All right, next match, GG's, well played. Like, I mean, but it was just one of those weird things that I saw, and like, I don't know, because I've never touched Warframe, and I know you play Warframe at least once a week. Is that
Yes.
like a private like PvP lobby? What the fuck is Warframe? I don't know, and I feel like a bad person.
Warframe,
for not knowing.
it's public lobbies. The only thing with Warframe is that it's not crossplay yet, which they're in the works of doing that. So it should be hopefully an option by mid to end summer where we can actually crossplay with other platforms.
Oh, sick.
But it's all exclusive to each platform. But you can do open lobbies with randoms, or you can just close it off to yourself,
Okay.
which means you go into missions without anyone. So if you want it by yourself, to where you can take the time to loot or find Kubro eggs, things like that, you have the time to do that. But I'll either run solo or I'll run with people from my clan.
Mm-hmm.
But I hardly ever run with randoms anymore because I'm honestly waiting for the crossplay to come out because there's so many people that I know that play on PC that I can't play with.
Right.
So
Well, that was because I thought that was the kind of game that it was, but I wasn't sure.
no, yeah, you can have up to 4 people in a group. So
Okay. Because you play a lot of group games. I don't think I've ever seen you play a single player game on stream.
it's been a while since I've done a single player stream. Last thing I did that was a single player was Little Nightmares, and that's been a while. And I haven't done solo queues in quite some time. However, I am about to start the Dark Picture anthologies, so
I loved Until Dawn. I absolutely loved that game, and I can't wait to get my hands on a PlayStation 4 to play it again and play it on stream. But the same devs made Dark Picture Anthology, and I want to dip into that series so bad. And that has a multiplayer component too.
you can. It's a co-op thing, so if you want to do it, just let me know because I have all the chapters.
I mean, maybe.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Ginger, I mean the people would love that.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I'm down. There's games like that I want to play, but like, I don't know if you have the same, like, I'm nervous to ask this person the thing because I don't want to impose on what they might have planned. But like,
I do the exact same thing. I don't like asking people because I'm just like, they have their own thing. I don't want to. I don't want to do it. Don't want to do it.
So I want to. Go ahead. Sorry, I got excited.
No. Go. You're excited. Go.
Because there's a game that I want to play called A Way Out, and it is from the same devs who did It Takes Two,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a story about two dudes. I can't remember if they break out of jail or they get out of jail, and it's them like
They break out of jail.
That's what I thought.
I've played the first like maybe 3 hours. Do it.
I want to play it, but I want to play it with somebody else because I don't want to play with the bot.
Let's do it together.
We'll have to see if we can cross play it. Because if we can't, like, I would be fucking down for that because the story from what I've seen of it is so fucking good. But like, I do story-based games on Monday nights, and like, Toast and I have something in the works that we're getting ready to do together. A game we're gonna play, and I'm playing through Borderlands 1. So to get him kind of refreshed on the Borderlands series, we started co-oping Borderlands 1. But when he went to bed, I was finishing my playthrough of 1 because I want to play through the entire fucking series. Because it's a story-driven game. There's a story in there. But I get to shoot guns and that makes me happy. Spoken like a true fucking American. Oh my god. But like
saying nothing.
Right, shut up. But it's like because even Toast does it to me. Like, because last Monday he was just like, "Hey, so what are you doing tonight?" And I was like, I don't know. And he goes, "Well, I was thinking about doing this, this, and this, but I don't know what game I want to play." And I was like, "I'm playing Borderlands." And he goes, "Okay." And I said, "Do you want to do a playthrough of Borderlands 1 together and either we cut it when we move to our next thing, like just keep playing it until we get to a point where we're ready to move to the next game?" And he goes, "I could be persuaded. What platform do you have it on?" And I'm like, if you wanted to play, just ask. Fuck it. Every content creator is just like too nervous to ask their friends sometimes, and it's just like, nah, fam. Like, slide into my DMs with that game suggestion. Like, let's fucking go. So I would love to play Dark Pictures Anthology with you.
Yes.
Such a roundabout conversation for such a wholesome outcome. Like, my heart is like leaking treacle. Fucking beautiful that is. Like, I would love to. It's like you just got engaged. I feel like we need to like have a bit of a bash.
I feel like Frost and I are very similar on so many things in so many ways, so it's just like I have been very word vomity the last like couple of days. And it's just like everything going on. Like, I'm very nervous for this trip to California. I've never been to California. So like I'm nervous, like it's for work, but I also am meeting people from Twitch. Like they're driving from LA to Palm Springs where I'm going to be, and like it's just like, "Oh, well, I'm nervous." So then it's just like, "Hey, person, I enjoy your content. You want to game together?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, because it's like that awkward, let's take it to the next step, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know about you guys, but you could I could be married to someone for 20 years and then still be going like, "Hey, do you like me or what?" Like, I've got that thing going on. Like, I just assume that when I leave the room or the conversation, I just disappear from everyone's minds. So then that energy goes into like, "Oh, well, I want to play a game with you. We've never played before," but I'm like, I know we've spoken online for like 50 million hours, but are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure that you want to co-op? You sure you want to do a top-down RPG with me? Are you ready to Diablo 3 with me? I don't know. Do you even like me? Like, I've got that anxiety in spades. Which is why I'm very drunk every time I play Dead by Daylight, because I just assume nobody wants to play with me. I'm like that kid in the corner that sits on like the friend bench. hoping that someone can like sit down and just give me a few comforting words. Maybe it'll be the captain of the baseball team, Chad. Sorry, I just went. Ignore that. You should totally play that game together.
Well, let's, because you, Frost is a horror fan, as we've touched on. I guess, what's your favorite horror franchise?
Nightmare on Elm Street, hands down. Anything by Wes Craven, honestly, is many of my favorites. But Nightmare on Elm Street is the very first franchise that introduced me to horror when I was 6 years old. So, and I'm a huge fan of Robert Englund. I've met him before, luckily. So
nice.
I'm very happy.
Hell yeah.
The only Freddy.
The only Freddy that matters.
Yes.
Can't remember that other guy's name. He was in Watchmen.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't do a bad job. Just the overall concept of the story, it was just not executed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From like a horror, like a deeply in threshold like horror fan, it just wasn't done well.
Yeah, I think horror has a bit of like a crisis of like identity now. And when you try and remake those slasher flicks, it's a very difficult. It's so 80s that when it's done now and they try to give it all of the gravity of like an Oscar-winning drama, it does not work. Let's see, Rob Zombie's Texas Chainsaw Massacre origin story. Found that very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween remakes.
No.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Yeah, when he shows like Mike Myers, well, not the actor. Yeah, baby. He shows Michael Myers' like origin stories and stuff like that. It's just like.
I mean, I appreciate him going through a darker sense of it, but it just with the ghost of his mom and all that stuff, that just made absolutely no sense. Like, this guy is he's just a fucking cold-hearted killer.
Right.
He's just an evil entity in and of itself. Like,
right.
That shouldn't be the key of driving him, is his mother's spirit haunting him.
Well, I think what they forget is that the backbone of those original movies, those kind of classic horror movies, is a sense of fun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, first and foremost, they kind of have a sadistic fun, like, running through their kind of nervous systems, and then they remake them in a way that tries to be something else, and it feels like like a reproduction that's like slightly wrong.
Yeah.
I think is what I'd say. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street, great movie.
Did you see the new Scream movie?
I did, yes.
What did you think of it? Because I'm curious. I'm always curious to ask horror fans what their thoughts on it were.
So my thing is, it should have just ended after the fourth one.
Yes.
Honestly, Wes Craven, bless his soul. He's an amazing director, writer, producer of all things horror, especially with the Scream franchise. Taking jabs at like how horror is perceived. It's like, oh, why would you run up the stairs when you should just be running out the front door?
Right.
So, it should have stopped at the fourth one, because that. In a way, with the family tie-in, that's cool. But then, like, the fifth one, I appreciated what they were doing with it. But personally, if Craven has no control over this anymore, sadly, because he did pass away.
Right.
If he had a finger in it, it would have been probably fantastic. Did I appreciate? Spoiler alert, if no one has actually seen it. If you haven't, then what the hell are you doing? I appreciated the kill of the legendary character, Dewey. Yes. After all the times that man has been stabbed throughout this entire franchise, and he goes out that way, it's like damn. It's like, okay, well, he's definitely not coming back from that.
Right. It's
a double.
it's the thing for me is it's nail in the coffin. These characters are done.
Yeah, at this point, like from rumors that I'm hearing, they're like, oh, I can't wait to see how this new generation of people, this new cast for Scream. I'm like, please don't continue Scream. There's no fucking point.
No.
This final film has, Sydney and, Dewey and Gale. It's like, it's done. Like,
Yeah.
leave it alone. It's done. Like, please don't destroy the franchise. That's the thing I have an issue with horror is they're constantly wanting to remake.
Yeah.
Horror is not genuinely horror anymore. It's more of a psychological suspense genre now.
Mm-hmm.
With things like Hereditary and all those other films.
I was going to say,
don't
Ari
get me
Aster.
wrong. Those are really good films and they're twisted AF. But true horror with the gore, obviously, because classic jump scares, things like that, it with the current audiences, it doesn't work anymore. Whereas people who were seeing these movies from like the 60s to like the early 2000s were like the golden years for horror.
Mm-hmm.
I am a original horror person through and through. I hate remakes. I despise them. It damaged the Friday the 13th franchise. It damaged Hellraiser down the line. Even though Hellraiser is being remade, but it's being remade in a way where it's sticking to the original book.
Yeah.
Where Pinhead is a female Cenobite.
Right.
And, the original people are having their hands in it. So I'm like, I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. No offense, but I mean, Doug Bradley's adaptation of Pinhead, it will never... It'll be legendary.
Right.
Even in hell, it'll be legendary. So yeah, but for me, I like the OG horror monsters and everything like that. So obviously, if remakes flop, why are you still doing it, Hollywood? You have to stop. There's so many original scripts that you're just throwing on the floor because you're like, oh, well, it's like stop appealing to the current audiences because they're into this newer adaptation of the psychological horrors.
Right. And I love a good psychological horror. Like, don't fucking get me wrong. But going back to the OGs and even I'm like even up into the 2000s, because the one remake that I do appreciate because it happened early enough. And we're getting into an interesting area when I talk about this. But did you watch the original My Bloody Valentine?
Yes.
Did you watch the remake?
My Bloody Valentine 3D?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you think?
I liked it. I don't know, putting horror with a 3D thing always it triggers me.
Right. The 3D effects were fucking god awful.
It was the same thing with Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Doing the whole 3D concept at the end, I'm like, and it came with the box set too.
I had the red and blue glasses in my VHS copy.
I do. Yeah. Oh, you have the VHSs. Well, I had upgraded mine to the DVD, so I have no idea where my VHSs went. And I have that along with like all the special featurette stuff. I really wish the DVD set came with the TV show that Freddy did. I really wish the DVD set came with that, but it didn't.
Yeah, he was my favorite late night host actually too.
Mm-hmm. Because the 3D aspect, like you said, Ginger, it was just god awful.
Because removing that. The change they made in the story, I think...
Oh yeah, the shift, yeah.
Like, I don't think it was necessarily the worst move. Definitely a lot better than some of the shifts I've seen in remakes recently.
Right.
But it still didn't... It's still just not the same. And I think the remakes really started the worst during the writer's strike, and they found that people were still going to go watch the movies, even though during the writer's strike in television, they were still pumping out movies, something for the actors to do. Mm-hmm. Now, the actors are getting booked. I mean, Friday the 13th remake that came out with Paris Hilton. Like, no.
that was House of Wax.
House of Wax.
No.
That was House of Wax.
Oh, House of Wax was Hilton, but...
Which was...
Yeah, no, she was never in a Friday the 13th.
That's
if they
right.
ever put her in something like that, I would have snapped.
So I watched a lot of those movies around at the same time. A lot of those remake dog shit. So House of Wax was... House of Wax is not one of those movies that I ever gravitated towards in the first place because I don't like dolls.
It was like an opportunity to just get Chad Michael Murray working, right?
Yeah. So it was... I'm trying to think. But there was have you seen the horror flick Devour?
I have.
You're the only other person that I know that's outside of the big supernatural fandom that has seen Devour. And that was one of the first horror movies that I saw with Jensen in it. Because Jensen does a lot of horror.
He does.
But that movie, there was... Because I don't know much about the history of that movie and that script. But some of the people that I saw in that movie, seeing them from like other movies and TV shows, like the chick who played Marisol, she's been in a whole bunch of shit that I've seen. And so like watching this years down the road, I'm like, wait a minute. I know all of these fucking people. And they were in this, I'm going to be kind of frank, kind of a dog shit movie. Devour, it hit its big twist in the end of the second act. And I'm like, bro, like, you have lost me. Like, I can't, I liked where it was going. And then that twist, like, I will give it the fact that it is not anything I had seen before.
Right.
But it was just not... It was not... It didn't do for me what I would have hoped. Like, there was potential in it, and then they just shit the bed.
The only reason that I kind of watched that movie was because William Sadler was in it, and I had seen him in Demon Knight from the Tales from the Crypt movie, and I was like, I love that movie. I love all those actors in that movie. So I was like, I'll give it a shot. And then, because we had, seen Jensen doing horror all the time. So it's like, okay, I'll give it a shot. It ranks in the bottom half of my list of, do I recommend this?
Right.
But I mean, it's one of those oddball horror films that,
right.
It has... I don't want to say it has its moments, but I mean, for the budget that they had and things like that, I mean, it was okay.
Right. There's a big part of me that would kind of like to see a fresh, more modern take on it, because it relies so much on the technology of the day.
And that's my thing too, is like these oddball movies that didn't do well like back in the day, if those were to be pulled now, where it would probably work now.
Right.
So it's like the horror films that worked in the past, don't touch them. The ones that didn't, revamp those. Right.
That's a good point.
Because they might actually do better with this generation of viewers. And like you said, with the technology and stuff that it focuses on, things, it's those just little aspects from the story that it would work now.
Right.
So I would absolutely love to see an adaptation of Devour. I mean, just like I am part of an elite group of people that really would love to see a Wishmaster 5.
Right.
But we're not going to see it. So,
right. It's
well,
like,
give them time. Like, I feel
because
I feel like the well has run so dry for these, like, I feel like Hollywood is in such a cutthroat position where the well has run so dry on the nostalgia wagon that you just don't know what the fuck they're going to come out with next and expect you to give a shit about. And it's funny. It's funny because I almost want someone to clip something you said a little while ago. They should have stopped after the fourth movie, which I feel applies to so much in the horror genre.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
So they drag on, and I hate to say it, like Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. Those all dragged on a little bit. Like when you got the Dream Child or Hellraiser, Hellworld, it just got a bit.
You get Jason Takes Manhattan, and he spends.
Or Leprechaun in the Hood, like it's just those storylines that just go beyond what we're.
But then it's like Jason Takes Manhattan and spends 95% of the movie not in Manhattan. I'm like,
it's like the last portion of that movie he's in Manhattan.
And I'm like, who is writing this? Like that could have been like maybe half decent. He's on a cruise ship, so like Jason takes mojitos,
right?
For starters. And then just what you're saying, like I am firmly of the school where there's a reason that psychological horrors are doing so well, right? And it's because the slasher genre and that kind of like style of movie is so hard to make fresh again. Mm-hmm. We've seen it from so many angles, and to be honest, it has to almost like revert to, culturally, like a childlike brain that we have. It has to go back to something that we feel that we're too good for to work, which is why they fucking overcomplicate everything. Well,
and it's
and for context, my favorite horror movie is Evil Dead 2, so that tells you everything you need to know.
Evil Dead, just overall is a fantastic. Yeah. Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead Army of Darkness, and Asher's Evil Dead all were executed. Even the remake. This is the one remake I will say is a must watch. Yeah, they did so fucking well with it. I was so surprised by it.
And the reason I bring it up as well, you say remaking something with new technology and it making sense, like that totally made sense in terms of 100%.
Them. Like
go from schlock to making it like look. Actually, instead of like slightly funny or schlocky, actually made it fucking like horrible to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because even just like with any sort of visual effects, even the makeup itself was just beyond more gruesome, and the whole movie, I'd have to praise it. It was just done absolutely well. I'm glad they went with the one actress though, because I believe originally it was supposed to be Lily Collins. And I'm kind of glad it wasn't her, because I believe she was doing some sort of movie related to a book franchise. What was it? It was turned into a TV show on ABC Family.
Hold on.
Where they hunt demons and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're Why is this title of? Oh Lord.
Hold on. I'm doing what I do best, and that's get on IMDb in the middle of the podcast.
And we're back to regular programming, folks.
The Immortal was she
Shadowhunters.
There it is.
It was the Mortal Instrument City of Bones.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That was the movie adaptation that flopped, but the TV show did fucking phenomenal. Yes.
Was Lin-Manuel Miranda in that? Am I making that shit up? Am I on about the wrong thing? No. I didn't see it. Don't fucking listen to me.
I just came across something. They're redoing Urban Legend.
Really?
Yep. So Rebecca Gayhart's reprising her role as Brenda. Catherine McNamara from Shadowhunters is going to be a lead. Oh, Loretta Devine is coming back as Reese. Okay, so we have two returning actors.
I can almost hear all of our listeners like rapidly typing on their keyboards right now.
100%. I just saw it was announced. No, it's in pre-production. So they're currently going through the budgeting process and casting actors. Wow. Yeah, because I went to Catherine McNamara's profile because of the Shadowhunters thing, and I was like
Yeah.
Urban Legend. I'm like, excuse. I was like, I think I remember actually hearing them say that they were planning on remaking Urban Legend, but never knew about who they casted so far.
Yeah, it's
So this is another one. I don't know if they should be touching this, but if they do it well, I might be okay with it. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
and that's well, okay. So speaking on horror, a franchise that I want to see die, and I watched it younger than what my mom wanted me to, was the
Mm-hmm.
Saw franchise. Can we just fucking
Literally was
Can we
about to
talk
say
about
that.
that?
because
Uh,
I so I s- don't mind the first couple Saw films. I I don't like torture porn movies, so that's not my thing. But Saw, the questions that Saw the first Saw movie presents to the viewer, that viewers either think on and they go, "Oh, well, fuck," or they just completely miss it because they're just slack-jawed shoveling popcorn watching the movie. The questions that it presents, I absolutely love the philosophical discussion behind it. But now
mm,
we're just fucking like all the apprentices and all the bullshit and
well, can I
fucking
say
let it go.
the final installment of the Saw franchise was Will Smith and Chris Rock
I
at the
mean,
Oscars. You know when the first the first Saw, spoiler alert, when he just like gets up at the end,
mm-hmm.
that was Will Smith.
I just like I I don't have Saw was one of those last kind of like original IPs that I was just like, I bet I can get behind this. Yeah, sure, let's do a
Mhm.
couple movies.
Yeah, it was good.
I don't need a 10th installment. Fucking uh, what was his name? John Kramer? What the fuck was his name? From Saw? The
The actor is Tobin Bell. I know that.
hold on. I've got a
How telling that the character name fucking escapes you,
right.
because we're all Jigsaw.
Well, that's the thing. Like everybody's fucking jigs. Like fuck off.
Wait, are we talking about Tobin Bell or?
Yeah, we're talking about Tobin Bell.
Yeah.
What was his
Okay.
fuck? What was his name? John. It was John something. But like John, just he like a good man who does good things and then decides nope. Like the thing that I love about certain types of horror is that the fact that someone realistically could do that. I mean, we had H.H. Holmes. Like it's not too far out of the scope of reality that someone could be just this fucking demented. Like the far-fetched believability. Yeah, I like to think that I have a somewhat, creative mind where it's just like, oh yeah, I mean, I could see under the right circumstances shit like that would happen, but it's not going to. Sweet. It's humans, it's people. Like that's the thing I love about it. But then we're so
Mm.
far down the line in Saw sequels that like it they've beaten it to death so much that I can't.
Yeah, but and the intricacies of the murder plots, you become so desensitized and bored by it that you may
Right.
as well watch someone make a watch.
Saw 3D, the final chapter, 2010. Guess what, bitches? We had a Saw movie come out, right before the pandemic?
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
And that one was
It's
called just what, Spiral or something?
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
but by the way,
Because you need
his
to
last name was Kramer, Ginger.
I was right. It was John Kramer.
It
Fuck.
was.
yeah. Insert Seinfeld music here.
Right? It just.
What is the deal with Jigsaw?
Fuck, man. I just.
It's funny you say 3D, and 3D comes up so much in horror because they want it to be like immersive, like scare. I'm going to say something about 3D movies in general. I've never watched anything at all in 3D that I thought, thank God I'm seeing it in 3D. It always detracts from the movie experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
It does. I personally do not prefer 3D. No.
No. I wear glasses to see anything. So thanks for, like me having to decide whether I want to see the movie in 3D or if I want to be able to like see anything. Cool. Thanks. Like I'm
And
good.
is there anything more corny than seeing a movie years later outside of theater release where you knew initially it was part of that 3D boom, and then you're watching the movie now as a modern viewer, and you just see that moment that takes you out of the movie, and you go, "Oh, they did it for 3D," where like a shard of glass
Right.
suddenly becomes super focused, and you go like, "Oh, it was one of those."
Yeah.
Right? Oh, there's a shard of glass like heading towards the screen, but it means nothing to me now because it's over. Like Harry Potter in the final movie, catching the golden snitch, and like I'm the snitch.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, like that shit just did not work. And then like I don't know about you guys, but when you put those 3D glasses on, and everything in your peripheral vision is kind of like fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to like focus on every and they were all on IMAX screens, so your eyes aren't big enough to fucking see the whole thing, and it's still blurry.
Yeah.
There's no amount, all the effort of James Cameron of making two blue creatures make love in front of your eyes in front of the screen can't fucking make me enthralled about that experience, because that shit's just weird.
I feel like only like certain, not even for just like not even full genres can do it. I feel like only certain movies. Like I feel like if one may do it, maybe it would be Marvel's Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness might be able to pull that off in 3D because of how much shit is going to be going on in that film.
Right.
So, but will I go watch it in 3D? Absolutely not.
Fuck no.
So
I am just because like you said, Jordan, it takes away from the experience.
Yeah, because
of just watching it, because it's like one or two little spots. They're like, oh, it's gonna be fully immersive 3D, and like you have like 5 spots out of the entire film that are actually 3D.
Yeah, and the rest of the movie you're trying to like make amends in your brain that like the characters are slightly away from everything else,
right?
And it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So I mean, for people who love 3D and you love that immersive experience, if it works for you, great. I'm definitely, I think Drew and Ginger can agree. It's just not. It's not worth the extra money to spend on a ticket.
No.
Right, and if you want to be immersed, just get a fucking Wii balance board. Your fucking grandma's got one.
Dude, so I was installing a TV in a client's house, and they looked at me straight faced and said, "So does this TV do 3D?" And I said, "No." Well, why not?
No TV that does 3D.
I was like, well, they're like, well, why not? And I said, because 3D was a fad that failed. I love my 3D movies. I have a 3D Blu-ray player. It's like, yeah, I got one of those too, but it's for people like you who still have fucking 3D. Get that shit out of here. Get 4K and get out of my face.
Exactly. 4K is becoming the biggest thing now. So it's like, it's so...
And 4K,
like I said, 3D has a very exclusive audience, a very small, minutia exclusive audience. Yeah. I mean, good for them. Yeah. If they love it, they love it, you know? There's just the bulk of us that just, there's no point.
Yeah.
And the fact that a lot of people still have DVD players now, because I'm like, I love DVDs. I have a collection of movies.
Same.
Everyone's like, why do you have that? Everything's digital. I was like, because the day that shit crashes, like the internet, I at least have shit to watch. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So before...
when my Wi-Fi goes down, I've got a King of the Hill DVD box set here waiting for me.
Exactly. That's the thing too. It's like, nah, I collect Funkos and horror figurines. Like I still do that shit.
Mhm.
I like having my collection of DVDs. Do I still add to it from time to time? Yes, not as heavily as I used to. Majority of all my films are horror or Marvel related. So,
Right.
but
It's funny.
with
I
the
was going.
prices that DVDs are, or not DVDs, Blu-rays are now, it's a bit ridiculous. $30 for a fucking
Yeah,
Blu-ray?
and you can get it on Prime. Like, I'm sorry, but
Yeah, you can get it on Prime, or
yeah.
you can like wait till it goes on sale, like I do. When
Yeah.
they're like, here,
Look,
it's exclusive price.
I was going to make this point earlier, but like how you said Marvel, and I'm not going to talk about Marvel in much depth here. Don't worry, because I've been known to go off pretty hard. Frost, I'm sorry.
That's hey, no, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I was thinking the whole time we were talking about, trying to make what would make horror films fucking pop again, and I was thinking, how cool would it be if at Disney, someone they're looking through those old properties. We've got fucking Moon Knight. Nobody knew who Moon Knight was, right?
Right.
And
Mhm.
and they're looking through all these old properties. How about they just take one of these fucking heroes that they've not brought into the fore again and do like a Marvel fucking slasher movie? How great would that be?
I would be so
That
down for
would be
that.
so
Yes.
good. Like Kevin
There.
Feige. You've got my
Mhm.
pager number. Like, I'll fucking sell you the rights. Give me. All right. So we're remaking the X-Men. Let's do like a movie where I don't know, like Nightcrawler is under mind control and fucking it's like a teleportation, crazy multiversal slasher movie
Yeah.
I mean,
where
I would like
people
to
are
see
like,
how that would go, honestly.
yeah, like people, like you've got a character and like he's going through. He's like a slat. He's like a slat. He's killing people. He's got his knives, and he's killing the same person in several different alternate timelines. And he's trying to like fucking eradicate the person from all these timelines. And it's up to the one version of that character to fucking get out and save like a million versions of himself. Like I think that would pop, man. With all that, like it would be different with all that money behind it. It would be like visually great, which is, let's be honest, we're talking about Ari Aster and Hereditary and Midsummer.
Right.
The reason that people like those psychological horror movies is because the cinematography is fucking immaculate and they look great, which is why they get critically lauded, is because they are like shot like works of art.
Yeah.
Right, and there's nothing that people that are critical of film love more than making a frame of painting with a two-dimensional storyline where nobody speaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But just imagine that, like, big budget Marvel, it's about superheroes, but then it's a slasher movie. I think that shit would pop, right?
It's just changing up okay, so DC has an entire line of fucking comics that are all horror. Horror. And I would love to see it as a live action. All of the animated Batman stuff that's super fucking dark, I love it. But I would love to see the Batman who is just killing with no discretion because the Joker fucked him up. Like I want that. I want to see that that the reason I loved the new Batman movie so much is it was a much more realistic look of how Bruce might actually be.
Yeah, dour as fuck. What I'll say, obviously, Frost, you're a big Marvel fan, but the thing about the new Batman movie that I thought was super, super refreshing was one of these big budget superhero movies where someone was actually just fucking fighting crime, as opposed to it being like this big universal threat. Not that I've got a problem with that. I guess like the the sci-fi kind of shit that the Marvel universe is going into, I actually prefer to what came before. But with like Loki, which on our Patreon episode, and people listening, please subscribe to the Patreon to hear that episode. It will be uploaded soon. I admitted that I like the Loki series because of the way it deals with sci-fi. Let's do that with horror, man. Let's
Yeah.
fucking flip the lid. Let's change shit up.
Yeah. I'm tired of it being the same thing over and over and
And
over
over
and
again.
like and coming from a content creator standpoint, yes, it's beneficial to just play the same game over and over and over and over again because people are going to come back to you because you play the same game that they like. Again, hard mode versus streaming versus easy mode for, uh for streaming. But with TV and movies, and if you just keep remaking the same shit over and over and over again, retelling the same story but with different fucking people, but it's the same goddamn story, like I'm fucking over it, man. Like that's
What we're gonna do? Like start like doing a gritty Hollywood reboot of like Greek myths.
uh, I mean,
Those shits were wild. They like have sex with swans. Is that the multiverse of madness? I don't know, man.
it's just
But here's the thing. Like I read a study just earlier today, and they said that nostalgia, right? When you have a feeling of nostalgia, it actually like numbs your pain receptors, right? So this is the thing with all these like soulless remakes. Like everybody knows their shit. Everyone, like Spider-Man: No Way Home did it right. They fucking they made something out of that. But there's still this cynicism there for me, where you're thinking, at the end of the day, all these movies are where we're talking about horror, we're talking about Friday the 13th, we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. These movies started as passion projects for up and coming directors that wanted to go and prove themselves and reach for things that they couldn't do on the budgets they had. Evil Dead, the same thing. Sam Raimi makes Evil Dead and works on all these practical effects and learns how to work around his budget. Now it's like a guy in the room, like that runs like a multinational corporation, really cynically saying, let's bring these guys back because people will buy it and nostalgia makes you feel good, rather than it being like we're not reaching for something anymore, right? We're not reaching to see how far we can go or see what stories we can tell. We're just like, how can we repackage this shit, man?
right.
In 3D, you can see Spider-Man catching a baseball and be worried that the baseball's going to hit you in the face. And I'll say, no, the only time I've seen 3D that was convincing and worked for me was Disneyland Paris on the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids ride.
Like
Rick Moranis never looked so good.
Well, that's Druid. You have read it. You haven't read an updated version of it in a while because I haven't. I've done some edits, but I haven't touched it in a while. But I don't know if you knew this, Frost, but I wrote a script over a year ago, and
No, I have not.
it was. I pulled inspiration from something that somebody else did, but I took it in a slightly different. I took it in a different route, and the theming and the story around it is different. And I was at a convention last May, and I was ended up schmoozing with anime voice actors for a weekend, and just treating them like fucking people, like you do when you meet anybody famous. I fucking treat famous in whatever circle people like they're fucking people.
Exactly.
And I was I had mentioned something about writing, that I write some, and that I had written this script, but I hadn't touched it in a while. And they said, "Well, why haven't you touched it?" And I said, "I don't know. Well, partly because, I was nervous. I've had a concussion. I don't want to make changes to it and then go, what the fuck did I write? Like, and, it's not perfect, but it's something that I would like to see made." And they're like, "Well, just send it to us." And I never did.
Oh.
Right.
The road.
Why no?
Because I was scared. And the thing is it could be something that's, I'm trying to raise money to fund and make into a thing. Like, that could have been where that ended up being. If it never gets made, fine. If it gets made, I will be so happy. But I'm so fucking, like, nervous and terrified to, like, share it to people whose opinions I actually fucking care about. And, like, I'm scared to, like, try to shop it and send it off, because what if it gets made and what if it's a piece of shit? Like, that fear for me is so fucking big. And I think there's so many people in the internet age. Everybody is always, "Oh, you stole that idea from somebody else." And it's like, but no, I had a little bit of inspiration and I'm doing my damn thing. And it's everybody is so quick to say, "You need to credit this person, you stole this, you did that." And I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. Like, everyone's a fucking, like, critic now, right? Everyone thinks that they've got the inside scoop and the correct thing to say. Look at any Facebook comment section that advertises any movie ever, and you will notice that people that haven't written a full sentence on a side of A4 paper since they were at middle school suddenly think that they understand how pacing plots work and understand what creative decisions should go into an output. And everyone thinks that they are like Roger Ebert.
Right.
So it's like doubly scary, right? Because you know that if it's like just shared in an offhand way, a secondhand way, that someone is gonna like pop up and say like, "Well, I don't know, right? I don't know why it's Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
It would have been way better in the third act if the cinematography was more in line with the madness in the." And you're like, what are you talking about? We're living, and I understand completely the irony of me, a man that talks extensively on a podcast about Twitch streamers that has never streamed in his life and doesn't know anything about streaming. In fact, when you were talking about games earlier, I thought, I may as well be learning like Italian. So, I understand the irony of me saying this, but like this kind of age of and we saw it with COVID, we saw it with the anti-mask and anti-vaxxers, and we see it with the alt-right, and we see it with all these people. Everyone's a fucking expert.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has the ability to read one perspective and base their entire opinion about it. So I, for the first time in my life, have got anxiety about sharing music, something that I would share readily from the age of 13. I am terrified to share my creative works because, like, everyone's a fucking expert on everything. And when you think you're an expert on everything, you think everything's shit.
Right.
So you're ready to shit on everything.
Yeah.
And people support creative works like it's a baseball team, right? So if anything doesn't fall into that category, you're shit.
Yeah. And I think that's a big part of why nobody's you're getting studios like A24 who are just like, "Oh yeah, no, fuck it, let's do this, this original script written by this person. Fuck it, let's do it." Like,
A24, the film studio that equates to your little brother having a mushroom flashback.
right. it's that, finally fucking doing something, doing anything different. And like, we're not just like, because I was flipping through Netflix and saw a show that is based off of a cartoon that I watched when I was a kid. And it's the more fucking adult version of it, where there's actual, it's live action and there's stakes and there's blah 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, why the fuck are we doing this shit again? Again. The show died when I watched it. Why are we remaking it to try to get my age people to watch it as adults, but also trying to get the teens in on it? Fuck, just let it die.
Yeah.
Let it fucking die.
Yeah, it's like if they remade Power Rangers, and except like Zordon was like Heisenberg and was making the Rangers inhale fentanyl, and then
Right.
that's the show. It's like, and they don't call it Power Rangers; they call it the Rangers.
Right. It's just like, fuck, man. I don't know. Because for us, you're in, sort of in that world. I don't know. We don't talk a lot about your work. I just know that you edit things.
I do edit things, yes.
You do the edits of the stuff. Like, I don't know. You said that you just did a TV show and a movie, correct?
Oh no, I didn't edit those. I was
no,
in them.
yeah. You were in them. Like,
Yes.
I'm really sorry if we've talked about any property that you've been a part of.
No, you have not. Nope. The two projects that I recently done was Leverage Redemption and Renfield, which is a Dracula movie that's starring Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult.
No fucking shit. I know both of those. The Leverage. I was really excited to hear about Leverage.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the Rangers.
I mean, I do have a Dino Thunder Yellow Ranger helmet coming my way here in the next 2 months. So
fuck yeah!
I am a Power Rangers fan. I like the OG Power Rangers, but I also liked the certain seasons. So I did like Dino Thunder because it brought it back to the original type, and it was kind of like a good villain. You had good Rangers. I mean, Jason David Frank came back. He became a Ranger again.
Yes.
So, yes, I was intrigued by that. And I was like, and one of my friends who is in the UK, he has been making Power Ranger helmets for 15 years now. And he is definitely a professional when it comes to the OG Ranger helmets, especially either the TV series versions or even the movie versions of them.
Mm-hmm.
But he's making my Dino Thunder yellow helmet. He is constantly nonstop busy. So there's a lot of people who are getting Power Ranger helmets commissioned, which is pretty freaking cool. He actually has the original Alfalfa suit.
Nice.
Aye.
Alpha 5. I don't know why I said Alfalfa all of a sudden, but
I
Alpha 5.
Right.
Yeah, it sounded like he
Alpha 5.
He did a Dragon Ball Z. He did a.
I did a drag. Yep. I had a little brain fart slip, but yes.
He just did a Dragon Ball Z fusion with Alf.
Alf?
Yeah, Alf, the fucking furry alien.
I
looks
know.
You look like he should have come out of a claw machine.
So I don't know. I guess literally what I just said. I'm perpetuating part of the problem of fucking it's. I'm excited to see, Leverage. I'm excited for those things, but also it's I'm not if they flop, they flop. If they suck, they suck. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but it's just seeing properties just getting remade with the same shit. I'm tired of it, but I also don't have the cojones to be all hi, yes, here is my script. Hello, it's in its in its infancy. It's in its first draft stages. Give it a read and tell me what you think. I'm just nope. This is just staying right fucking down here, and nobody can look at it, and then nothing will ever happen with it.
But what we're saying is the current model part of your anxiety might come from the fact that the current model doesn't accept those new properties in that way.
That's exactly it.
What you're meant to do, rewrite your script, and then it's like what Venom 3.
Right.
But then, under the token of the Sony produced Marvel movies, if you're ever scared, and this goes to anyone listening at home, if you're ever scared of sharing your script in the fear that it won't get made, remember that they actually made Morbius. So it could happen to you.
I'm gonna say I haven't seen Morbius yet.
I did not bother.
Yeah, I mean,
do not bother.
Jared Leto, he has lost any fucking draw for me for anything. When I was in high school, I was like, Jared Leto, and now I'm just like, miff.
Here's the thing that lost Jared Leto for me. Have you heard about the cult-like retreat he does?
Dude, he's so fucking insane.
He does like a 30 Seconds to Mars. So 30 Seconds to Mars, they don't play or do shows anymore, right?
Right.
But you can buy tickets to a festival that Jared Leto runs, basically, where you go to a private island. And when you go to that private island, you have to wear white robes and like follow him around like he's a god. And it's like this insane cult-like experience where people go to an island and basically like listen to him speak. They all wear the same clothes. And he even went out on Twitter and went, "You think it's a cult? Well, yeah, you're right. It is." It's absolutely crazy. I would urge you, if you have a device in front of you, and this goes to listeners at home as well, to just look up images of this fucking Jared Leto festival, because it is fucking wild.
I just can't fucking
it is wild.
When I was figuring out my shit post college, like figuring out what the fuck I was doing with my life, figuring out my mental health, like dealing with all that bullshit, there was a whole lot of hero worship that I had for like celebrities and musicians and blah 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 blah. Now I'm like, cool, I'm 3 phone calls away from Brian Henson. I treat Brian Henson the same way that I treat you guys. Like, someone who had lunch this weekend with someone who was a consultant for Chris Angel. Like, the celebrity world, they're just fucking people, and they go through the same bullshit we do. They have the aid of money potentially making it a little bit better and a little bit easier to deal with things on the surface level. But like, they're just fucking people, man. And Jared Leto is acting style, whatever, fine. But like, bro, what? Like, I don't understand the blind devotion to public figures anymore. I don't fucking get it.
I just put the photo of the retreat into the resources. And this is a guy that doesn't think he's a fucking normal person, man.
Holy shit. Holy shit, dude.
Yo, happy Easter, everyone. Here's like Jesus Christ, right?
Oh, that's fucking like I can't like fathom. I can't fathom that. Like
yeah. So yeah. So yeah, 2019. Leto and his band invited their fans, who call themselves the Echelon, to a retreat in Croatia. It consists of Leto dressed in white robes for 3 days, and he they do a couple of songs, and then they do like yoga and fucking like wellness treatments.
That's crazy to me.
Now there's a fucking horror movie I'd watch.
I guess being that you've been in productions recently, I mean, I feel like you also kind of align in that same, like, no, they're just fucking people. Like,
They are like, and the thing is, like, when I was on set, and I did a scene for like 3 hours because every director's different. But I did a scene for like 3 hours straight. And 4-inch heels, by the way. So that wasn't fun. However, when I sat down with the production assistants, which when I'm on sets, like, it's always fun to talk to those guys because they see the craziest shit that goes on set.
right.
So, like, you know, they'll bring on extras and people like that, right? So some people who come on as extras don't realize they have fucking boundaries.
Right.
Some of them who know not to cross those lines don't cross the line. There was a time, and I can't remember what movie he was referencing, but it was a production earlier. No, it was on Renfield because it was for Aquafina, because Aquafina's in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Someone thought it was a good idea to go and, like, run to her and, like, follow her around and, like, ask her for all this and this. I'm like, bruh, I was like, that person really did that? And they were instantaneously kicked off the set that same day.
Well, yeah.
Because as an extra or background artist, you're there as a support for the scene. You're not there for the actors unless they come up to you and talk to you. Like, there was an exception when I worked on 21 Jump Street. We were doing the house party scene, and I was a stand-in for Brie Larson.
Mm-hmm.
I was a stand-in for Brie Larson, and it was only for, like, I think 2 weeks because her previous stand-in, I think, was off. But I literally came on that show as an extra, and they came to the extras tent, pulled me, and was like, okay, you're going to be Brie Larson's stand-in for the next 2 weeks. I was like, oh, well, shit, okay. And this is before anyone really knew who Brie Larson was. You know,
Right.
she still had very small parts. I think this was right before she did The Room. And so we were setting up the shot, and Jonah Hill was in the chair next to me, and he tapped me. He's like, hey, like, you know, what's your name? Like, how are you enjoying this, you know, the set and everything so far? So that was like, he initiated it, and I was I'm very calm and collective about it because, like you said, Ginger, like, the actors, no matter how high your celebrity level is, they're still people.
Right.
And they want to be treated that way. So, like, the fact that he even just, like, started a conversation, because, like, he saw I was just standing there, I was, you know, just waiting for a cue, and he just, you know, tapped me. He was like, you know, and Jonah's a very, very chill person. It can't be said for the same for Channing Tatum, because he had a bodyguard on him the entire time, because there was the neighborhood girls would all be outside, literally, like, they ran inside their houses, printed a picture of him, and, like, we're standing across the street waiting to get. It's like Channing was, like, nowhere to be found. Like, his security guard makes sure, like, that doesn't happen.
Right.
Yeah, and can we just say, like, in everyday life, like, one of the weirdest things that could happen to you is someone that you don't know printing off a picture of your face and then approaching.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. It's
you
like,
know what I mean?
And that's the thing. That's how you can see with, like, actors on set. Like, Channing takes those steps. Jonah doesn't have to.
Right.
So comparing, like, Jonah to Channing, like, those guys are night and day. They're completely two different people. You know, Jonah was socializing with people and all that other stuff. Channing, not so much. Not at least from what I saw. And I knew a couple people who were actually acting in it. Who were, you know, Dave Franco's buddies in the scene. So it was just really fun overall because, like, everyone was very chill. Like, unless the actor specifically talks to you, which those actors invited all of us stand-ins to go sit with them during lunch break, which was super cool. Because, like, everyone kind of like sits off at their own tables in their groups of people. You know what I mean? Like, especially like if you're at lunch, like don't try and go sit next to the actors. Don't try and sit next to like directors or anything. It's not a smart idea. Because if you do that, they will not use you.
Like, hey,
take it from someone who has.
Hey, Scorsese, can I get in the scene?
Right?
Yeah.
It's not like those guys, because like not all the time does the actors go to the actual tent and like eat, but because they'll go to the trailers and whatnot. But sometimes they do. Like on 21 Jump Street, like literally we all kind of ate at the same base camp, so it was really kind of cool. So because when we're moving around from location to location, their trailers aren't at every spot. Their trailers are at home base.
Right.
So when we're done for like an hour break, we do our breaks either on set wherever our location is. Like there was a bridge scene, you know, a lot of us sat at a camp while our cars were sitting on a bridge, and that whole second unit that entire day was never used. So for 8 straight hours, they just sat in a tent and hung out all day.
Right.
While their cars were out on a bridge.
Well, that's
so
I do the convention circuit very loosely. I don't go to all the conventions because it's a lot, but I did a little bit of the convention circuit, and I went to Dragon Con, and I'm leaving one of the host hotels, and we're getting ready to walk back to our hotel. We're walking a mile through downtown Atlanta and Olympic Park back to our hotel, and I literally bump into DJ Quails. And DJ Quails, he's known in a lot of the, you know, like TV, you know, he's had a few movie roles, you know, fine. I bump into DJ, I'm like, oh shit, my bad. And standing next to him is Ty Olson. And I'm like, hey, guys, super sorry. Hey, by the way, I really appreciate your work. I'm a fan of Supernatural. I've seen you guys in other stuff. I like what you do. Thank you for being here. And DJ Quails was so high. He was just like, oh yeah, hi. Hey, I'm DJ. And like held out his hand, shook my hand, like was super chill. And then when I went to because I went through the Walk of Fame and, you know, got some autographs and, you know, fine. You know, like just little shit for me. DJ Quails, because I take a different baseball hat to cons every year and get the hat signed because it's unique. It makes me memorable, but not in like a creepy way. And DJ just goes, wait a minute, come here. And he just grabbed my head before I could take the hat off and just started signing the hat while it was on my head. And Ty was just like, you want pictures of this? Because he doesn't do this shit very often. And Ty held my phone and took photos. And the hat literally says, hey, Ginger, I'm signing this on your head. Heart DJ. And I was like, all right, fucking bet. Like, and it was just treating those guys like fucking people. And not being like, oh my God. It's like, okay, like.
It's like if you get naturally nervous, like that's one thing. But when you get to overly like, oh my god, like, hi, it's like, take a breath, calm down.
Right. I was just like, hey, like, because bumping into DJ and bumping into Ty, I was just like, oh, shit, my bad. Oh, hey, it's you.
Yeah, because like your instantaneous response was, oh god, I'm so sorry.
Right. Because it's like, my instantaneous response is anytime I bump into someone, oh shit, my bad.
Like, shit, my bad. It's like, my bad. I'm just like not fucking paying attention to where I'm walking.
Because Ty made
like that should be a natural response.
Yeah, Ty made a comment about how I was chill the night before, and I was just like, I mean, yeah, because like, why the fuck wouldn't I be? I'm almost 30 years old. Y'all are adults. I'm an adult. I watch TV shows and movies and shit that you guys have been in. Yes, you have some fame, but you're a fucking person. What none of them knew is I'm over here on Twitch with my own little, in my own corner, I am famous. Like, it's the same, it's not the same thing, but it's the same concept of things. I just want people to treat me like a fucking person, you know?
So, are you telling me when I saw Christian Bale at Walmart, and I went up to him with a Batman Funko Pop, and I said to him, where are the other drugs going? Where's Rachel? Are you telling me that was the wrong thing to do?
Possibly.
Potentially.
And then I just said I loved you in The Machinist. You were excellent. And he went, fuck off, mate. And then I went, where's Rachel? That was wrong.
It depends on the person.
Yes.
Some people might actually find that very like, okay, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Others are just like you said, fuck off.
Right.
Like, fuck off, mate. Like, no. But yeah, no, it all just depends on the person that you're dealing with, honestly. If they have a good sense of humor or not, or if it's just been a long day for them and they're just tired of hearing that stuff.
I would say Rob Schneider would be totally cool with it.
Probably.
How are y'all doing? Or whatever. Adam Sandler, I imagine not. He's not like Popeye's chickens, fucking. And he's like, get out of my face. But like, it's funny that as a celebrity, that fucking like so much pressure when you get all these weirdos coming up to you. Where are the other drugs going? Where's Rachel? And like Christian Bale's like gotta be like nice enough about it that it doesn't like ruin his career.
Well, and that's looking at influencers. Like, streamer Twitter is such a cesspool half the time, but there's also some really cool tidbits that come out of it. And it's seeing like larger creators go, I get all these DMs that say, hey, I saw you, but I was nervous to come talk to you. And it's like, if I'm not actively like putting food in my face, or I'm not like actively like taking a phone call, and you see me out in public, don't like get fully up in my shit, but just be like, hi, hello, yes, can I get like a picture? It was so nice to meet you. Like, be a normal fucking human, but come say hi. I'm not gonna like jump down your throat about it. And it's even like,
but on the same token, I understand the frustration.
right?
You remember the Hugh Grant story?
Yes.
And I'm on Hugh Grant's side there.
Right,
because like he's just like out on a vacay, just trying to relax and enjoy himself, and then like my shithead friend goes up to him and like, that's Hugh Grant, let me take a photo with him. Wow. And he's just like, fuck off, mate.
Right.
And you're like, I totally understand that though. He's on vacation, man. Like, I've been in a couple of situations where I've seen celebrities, and believe it or not, for us, I've not asked Christian Bale where the other drugs are going. Now, I have told Arnold Schwarzenegger to get in the chopper, but that's another story altogether. I'm not that fucking guy. But like, I've been in a couple of situations where I've seen some like weird celebrities you wouldn't imagine like that you would see, and I must say, nothing in my body sees anyone like, regardless of their status or what they're up to, ordering juice for their like kids, and thinks like, I want to go up and ruin this guy's day by asking him for a fucking selfie, and then embarrassingly having to take off the Instagram dog filter when I go up and do it with him. It's a weird one, because the thing about meeting celebrities in most cases, like, they're either going to be chill and kind of cool and kind of disappoint that idea that there's something more than human in your mind, or they're going to disappoint you by being a complete asshole.
Yeah.
And and it's okay because they're human, and you've got to respect that and give them space. It's like when you're at the safari park, right? You don't go and drive into a lion just to get close to them.
Right.
Just as I wouldn't, like, I don't know, like, rap the Fresh Prince theme tune in Will Smith's face.
Right. It's yeah, and running around the con circuit and knowing like handlers who have been who have handled some of the biggest like Marvel stars and also, TV actors. Like they're a handler, and that's their job, is literally to walk them from place to place, get to their place on time. And when you're with some of these, B to A-list celebrities, or if you're an A-list TV celebrity, like you make $1 million per episode of your show, like those folks throw big parties at conventions, and your handlers often you often invite your handlers, because if they treat you right, that's what happens. And it's one of those things where it's like, you just go in and you treat the people the way they fucking deserve to be treated. You don't make them feel fucking uncomfortable because this fucking rando who has been walking them through a convention is suddenly like all up in their face. Like,
right. Yeah, and then like going to his Thanksgiving dinner and going like, hey, Oscar Isaac? He has pineapple on his pizza, weirdo.
Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. And sorry, I know we just kind of like steamrolled that, but I don't know.
Frost, have you ever watched the Ricky Gervais show Extras?
I did at one point.
Because I feel like, what you were talking about, like, is so, like, that show is so, like, spot on what it must be like in my mind. And it's super funny because, like, the celebrities in it are so good at, like, taking the piss out of themselves. Like, when you were telling me the story of you in the chair and Jonah Hill was cool, Channing Tatum seemed to think people were trying to, like, take his flesh off for, like, some kind of pelt. That show captures that, like, so well.
Yeah.
Edit that out. It's just me recommending that because, like, it sounds like you've been on a few sets. Like, I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts were on that show, but another time.
Oh yeah, I can tell you all the show. I've been on 21 Jump Street, American Horror Story, Coven, Empire State, couple commercials. I was in Treme season 3. Yeah, got a good decent amount of
was there
sets.
And I totally respect if you can't answer this, and you probably can't, like, at all. But was there ever a set where you were just thinking, like, what the fuck is this? Where everyone was being difficult, there was a diva atmosphere there? A scoop for the GingerTalks podcast and a possible killer for
if people were being divas, I hate to say it, but, like, I mean, the show's already aired, so I can honestly, our agreements are, as long as the show's aired or movie's already out in theaters, we can say or post what we want. American Horror Story, Coven.
I knew it.
Not all of them. There was a select certain actresses that were divas.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, like, I was just like watching the finale scene. The finale scene unfolded in a way where it was kind of cool to see something get changed up on the fly last minute, but to see the actress grill the writer on how they wrote it and how she wanted to change it was kind of like, oh shit, you don't see this happen every day on set.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I find that I always find that fascinating when you hear about movies being made and you hear that, like, say, like Harrison Ford, right, has a say on the Blade Runner sequel, even though he had nothing to do with how the first one was made. And then the gravitas of his position on that first film allows him to make creative decisions on the second. Mm-hmm. And you think, and like, I'm not saying that Harrison Ford has bad ideas. I'm sure he doesn't. But, like, imagine as an actor, all of a sudden getting the cojones as someone that isn't a writer, getting the cojones to go to someone that writes for a living and go, I think my character should go another way. This isn't how I feel about it. And I understand that's part of like the collaborative process, but like I, you know, when you hear about disagreements like that, where it's obviously, I don't know if it's a self-interest thing or like whatever goes into the background of that or how they think it should go, that takes some fucking stones, right? Like, yo, I'm gonna go over to the writer and tell him how to write. Like, I don't tell my barber how to cut my hair, even when frankly done badly, which it has been now. A fact that I think about for days, and I wish that I'd been a bit more American Horror Story Coven about it. But like,
I will say this though: the actor has been in every single American Horror Story show.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly who you're talking about.
Terrible.
So I'm just like, well, it's out. I didn't say it. Granted, I don't get me wrong. I love her as an actress, really do, and I understood where she was kind of coming from with it, because seeing the scene unfold, the amount of dialogue that was there, and to end the season on that, it actually didn't make any sense to do it that way from a viewer perspective, seeing it happen on set. And what we saw actually show at the end of the season was more simplified.
But like, I guess like with that, with TV, I can kind of get it more. And when it's her, TV, you kind of see, because you have, instead of like one person's vision, like you've got a showrunner, and then like she's been on the show since the beginning, and then Coven was maybe the second. What was it, like the third season of that show?
Yeah, Coven was third. Yeah.
Yeah. And like she's been there longer than probably the writer or the director of that particular episode, and you kind of see, okay, so she's been there longer. She's got the gravitas to kind of go over there and like make that decision, right? A bit more than, say, if you're on a movie, I guess that's a bit more difficult. But then again, you hear about these movies where, you know, there's big clashes on sets, and sometimes that makes for a better movie. So I guess everything I've discussed here is tantamount to nothing. The creative process is malleable and completely changeable. Creativity is something we can't pin down, and everything I've said is null and void. So I guess that's getting edited out. Sarah Paulson.
It's just that's also one of those things like I've seen happen so much, because there's a dude in the local stand-up scene who worked on Neighbors and Neighbors 2 as a writer, and he's an extra in one of the scenes. They were like, yeah, dude, totally, like get the fuck in there, just party it up. And if you watch Neighbors 2, there's a party scene where there's a dude, a smaller Asian dude who has light up tennis shoes on. That's this dude that I know. And he comes back home and everybody's just like, oh my God. And I'm just like, hey dude, what's up? How's things been? What you working on? Like, what's going on? What's new with you? What's bringing you back home? Like, I treat him like a normal fucking person. But everybody's like up his ass hoping that, you know, they can end up writing for this or doing that. And I'm like, fuck no, man. They tried to sabotage me by putting me on stage before him at an open mic to make me look worse, but I wasn't very good at writing stand-up, which is totally fucking fine. But it's like, why did we go through all of that rigmarole? But why is everybody up his ass about this shit? Like, it fucking calm the fuck down. And
yeah. Well, it's like, you know, it's pictures on a screen, right? It means a lot to you. I understand it, but it's like the same thing with like anything. You know, there can be some guy out there that has like an issue with the cashier at your local McDonald's, and he's going to like persist on that day after day. People are just, you know, people have got no chill, right? Yeah. In general. I pride myself on being a pretty chill guy. I think if I saw Tom Cruise walking down the street tomorrow, I would just be like, "There's that asshole Tom Cruise, man. Scientology's weird. I'm not going to go up to him. I'm going to say, hey, Maverick, hey, dude, show me the money, Jerry Maguire." Like, but those people are out there. They just get excited, man.
Yeah, and like getting excited and being weird about it, are different.
Can I just say though, I could meet Ozzy Osbourne tomorrow, one of my musical heroes. One of my lifestyle heroes, Ozzy Osbourne. Oh, Sharon, fuck you know. That's what I'm basing my whole persona on now. I could meet him tomorrow and I would just be like, hey, happy Sunday, dude. See you later. But what I will say, if I meet anyone, and I mean anyone, even slightly involved in the TV show Twin Peaks, I lose my shit.
Yeah.
I've been to I don't do signing events. I don't do like cons. I'm not very interested in, meeting anyone, let alone famous people. Half the time. But if I went to the Twin Peaks convention like 4 years in a row, and I get shit. If I see you, I'll be like, sign my Twin Peaks. Like, I don't know why it is. If it's to do with Twin Peaks, I'm yours.
Yeah.
So I guess everyone's got their fucking shit right. So Frost, if you could lose your shit over any celebrity, or if there was any like property or franchise where you would lose that poise, what would it be?
Oh shit. Oh no, I don't know what actor I would lose my shit over because I get too nervous in front of them anyway, and I kind of like want to back out anytime.
So there must be one where it's like it would overpower that like sense of anxiety where you go, actually, I'm going to approach this person because it's like that good.
That's a really tough fucking question. Fuck. If it was okay, so franchise wise, I would say Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because I'm just I've come to the conclusion I am a Star Wars nerd. I've embraced it. My community's embraced it at this point too, because they make me dance it out all the time to the Cantina song. Oh god.
So even like Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar Binks, right?
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Oh, he fucking he's Darth Plagueis.
God, who would I lose my shit over? That's a really hard question because you don't actually think about it.
Yeah, because we're saying like we're saying we're all cool, right? We're saying we're all cool. We can like talk.
Like we're cool. It's like because like I can tell you this, like when I met Robert Englund and Andrew Divoff, both horror actors, obviously. One is Freddy Krueger, one's the Wishmaster, the Djinn. I got nervous walking up to both of them. But I got the balls and like walked up to him anyway because I'm just like, well, no one's in line. This is just gonna look weird if I just don't move.
But right, it's different in a con setting because they expect it.
Exactly.
So
if it was someone, I just fuck, if it was anyone, just because like I seen him in every single goddamn movie. Just to go into the comic book realm, I would say either Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But like again, like, what would they be like? What would Robert Downey Jr. be like?
I feel like
Robert, he's such a silly person, like, because going from what his past was to him now, like, he's a very carefree person, and I think because I don't know if you've seen him at cons, I feel like that's how he is, just in general.
I'll say what the vibe I get from him, and there's a series where Jon Favreau on Netflix like makes food, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a bit where like Kevin Feige, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., and loads of the Marvel guys are like sitting in a restaurant, and the way Robert Downey Jr. was talking about movies, like, "Hey, that's a good movie," or like he was so like locked in that I could see him being like just he's so dialed in that it would be like the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I add one more? I want to add an actress to my list.
Oh, yes.
Just because I've loved her since her childhood films. Scarlett Johansson. I think I would pass out in front of her.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I remember seeing her in Home Alone 3.
Yep.
Can I just say, when I saw Lost in Translation on VHS when I was 11 years old, changed my life.
Oh God. Oh my God, that movie was so good.
It was
your life, did us?
No, it was the soundtrack. The soundtrack was so good.
Oh God, the music on that film. Come on.
Kevin Shields from the band My Bloody Valentine, not the movie, did original songs for the first time in 10 years on that movie. I heard his music for the first time and it changed my life. That movie changed my life. Purely, partially because of the soundtrack and partially because it was the first pretentious movie I watched, which has come to form my... watching pretentious movies has formed my entire persona up to this point. For me, the one celebrity that I would see in the street that would make me lose my shit, Kate Bush.
Yep. That doesn't surprise me at all.
I've been asked the question many times, who is your celebrity crush? And I always say, I'm not really attracted to celebrities. It doesn't really work for me that way. I understand that they're good looking, but I'm also like, well, Jennifer Lawrence is a beautiful woman and seems very funny, but I have literally no connection to her, and I think I need some kind of connection to feel that attraction. For whatever reason, Kate Bush in her heyday is the one that breaks on through to the other side for me. I just fucking love her. And she's a fucking genius as well. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I love Kate Bush. This is Kate Bush Corner with Druid Knowledge. The Hounds of Love are calling. Heathcliff, it's me, Kathy, I'm home. Oh, Kate. Kate, and I know you're listening, please. Our business email is not available. But speak to my agent. I've got the same agent as Channing Tatum. And if Kate Bush comes to me with a picture of my face that she's printed at home, I'd find it equally strange, but ultimately pleasing.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I have.
Oh, come on. You're Jensen, man.
It's not Jensen. No, everybody seems to think that I'm Jensen obsessed. I'm not, actually. I do very much appreciate Jensen. I think he's a well-spoken, very attractive, intelligent man, and I'm very jealous of both him and Daniil because they make babies together, and it's beautiful. But they're both just gorgeous. Yeah. But I think
and Jensen, if you're listening, our business email is not available, but available on request.
But it's so I actually have
please call Ginger's agent.
Right. I have a more fond affection for Jared. It's something a lot of people don't know. Is it's actually Jared that I would like to sit down and have a beer with Jared and talk everything. But I know if that opportunity were to happen, I would just babble like an idiot. But I'm more like traditional celebrities. That's not where my lies. It's more in the content creator side of things. Right. I'd like to shake Markiplier's hand, and say, I'm sorry I called you an asshole when we were in high school. I appreciate what you do now. I mean, it's more of the Jacksepticeyes and the Markipliers, not so much PewDiePie or any of those guys, but it's
Yeah.
the opportunity that I had to meet Ethan. I gave it up to have a more important conversation with a friend that I know in real life. I gave that up, and I'm at peace with that. Like, it may be the last time I ever get a chance to meet Ethan and say, "Hey, thanks for jumpstarting my Twitch career," but I don't need to.
Yeah, but
He doesn't
that's
need to
different.
know that. Like, I mean, it's
That's different also.
right, but I
You know, if you
mean,
were to do that, it's almost like because you have that shared thing, right? You're more on the level with him, I guess.
yeah, but I mean, it would be more of uh, the Jacksepticeye, the Markipliers, the Cinnamon Toast Kens, like it just those
Mm.
kinds of folks are more like, so not even big level celebrities, like, because I see big level celebrities. I share elevators when I go to conventions with celebrities, and handlers are like, "Hey, yeah, we're walking over here, and I'll meet you afterwards." And like, "Oh fuck, I'm running late. And I'm like, "All right, whatever, cool." And like, "No, just swing by, grab my room key, and go do the thing." And it's like, "Oh look, there's a celebrity in front of my face." Like
Mm.
most of them, I don't have that over, but there are some that I'm just like, and it's mainly like the
Mm.
celebrity influencers in the space that I'm in. But I still try not to be like, "Nyah," over it, even though I'm a fucking weirdo.
I'm gonna add Carl McLaughlin to my list.
Okay.
Twin Peaks again. Twin Peaks for some reason. Stars of Twin Peaks. If you've not watched Twin Peaks and Frost, as a lover of the horror genre or things that are slightly off kilter, I'd recommend Twin Peaks. I recommend Twin Peaks to everyone. It's the best TV show of all time, in my opinion. Anyway, I was talking about people being armchair experts and critics, and then I say a statement like that, so the irony is not lost on me. And being a big Twin Peaks fan, I would see Carl McLaughlin and say, "I loved you in the Flintstones movie or Desperate Housewives."
Well, so we're already in kind of the vein that we need to be. We've got to start wrapping up here soon. So we're going to transition to guest questions. Now, some of these questions are very in the vein of what we got for some guest questions, but I feel like we need to ask Frost the guest question that everyone gets asked. And
Okay.
Frost, if you need a minute, let us know. But this question comes from one of our patrons, Red the Abnormal, and it's asked to everyone.
And can I say no pressure, but I greatly respect any guest that does not have to get this question clarified to them. But
Okay.
What would be your mundane superpower if you could have any mundane superpower?
A mundane superpower. Ooh, that's actually a really good question. And that's asked to everyone?
We ask that of every guest.
we've answered it
Yes.
a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
In an episode far, far away.
Yeah.
Shoot. All right. I guess it's just like weird, just really weird random superpowers, right? So
Things that benefit your daily life, not necessarily, like, not really saving lives or doing heroes.
just an oddball one, the ability to change my eye and hair color at will, I think, because I like variety of that.
All right. Yeah.
Because I think, Ginger, when you met me, I still had blue hair. It's an odd thing. I don't know, unless I want to be invulnerable to nuclear radiation. I don't fucking know.
No.
But I feel like having control of that would just be kind of fun and silly.
You're saying this to someone who typically has quote unquote fashion colors in her hair, and has eyes that actively change colors. I don't
Okay,
have
let
control
me
over it, but it's yeah.
Uh,
What
I'm
was
actually.
y'all's answers to that?
Oh,
What would be y'all? The laugh that I was just caught out of that from Ginger. What is y'all's mundane superpowers?
right. How do I start?
Oh shit!
Do you remember what mine was? Because I don't even remember now.
I don't think mine was so awful, right? That it was like a nuclear
Such
bomb.
lies.
No, mine was so bad. So I had my initial one was because I don't like housework very much. That I would be able to suck up garbage through my mouth and then it would be disposed of like in a clean way. And then I changed it because there's one thing I hate more than that kind of housework. It's doing the dishes because I do the dishes all the time. So I'd be able to suck up. Saying the word "suck up" is like horrible. I would be able to suck up dirty plates, and then in my stomach, I would have like a photosynthesizing kind of regimen happening where I would shit out clean plates instead of having to wash them by hand. So a bit like the concept of Luigi's Mansion or Ghostbusters, where they suck up the ghosts and then they shit them out into the ether. That was mine.
I don't even remember what mine was because
I
that was
can't remember.
so fucking iconic that like.
Well, I feel like season 2, Ginger. Maybe we need to come up with new ones.
Yeah, I guess for me,
We're very different people from when we started the podcast.
yeah, I think
All those months ago.
if I could have a mundane superpower, like right now, something that it that it would just be is that anything that I have deemed I don't need it anymore, I don't want it anymore, it just disappeared. Like, I'm done with this thing. It is now trash. I let go of it and it's gone. Disposed of to the right recycling place. It's, whatever. Like, that would be the biggest help for me right now.
So a lot of refuse based. We just want better trash services.
Like, I have boxes of recycling that I haven't been able to fit in my recycling dumpster for about 6 months, and they've been my bedside table for about 6 months. And it's the last of the recycling from that project, but it would never fit in the recycling dumpster because there were already too many big boxes in them. And they're boxes that are full of recyclable plastic. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this. And if they could just be gone. Ugh.
Yeah. If only I could get bitten by a radioactive trash can.
Fuck, man.
I've got a new one. Okay.
All right.
So my new and improved mundane superpower is that I am now Druid Man, and I've got a cape and everything. Just for show. Don't worry, I'm not a hero. Because only a hero can save us.
Oh my god.
But, watching us. But no. So now I've got psychic powers, and I can choose to do anything I want with them. But I don't commit acts of heroism into the world like you would expect I would, because I'm such a good-natured guy. But so. James Corden, right? Part of my superpower, my psychic superpower, is that I'm able to mentally project myself into any aspect of James Corden's life. And any time that he's at a black tie mixer, a big Hollywood black tie mixer, and he picks up a piece of finger food, a seagull appears from the left rafter and flies down and takes it from his hand. And he looks down at his hands and he goes, What happened? And that's my new power. So every time.
Equally as strange, but somehow still so fitting.
So yeah, and he's the only and like I see him do all kinds of unspeakable things, and I choose not to intervene. But every time he's at a black tie event and picks up like a Bellini or something, a seagull appears only from the left rafter, and it like makes like and like comes down and takes it from his like cold, fucking lifeless fingers. And he's like, "What? Oh my god! Wow!" And that's it. That's my new power.
Oh my god!
It's morphin time.
God damn it! Well, I think that's where we're gonna have to.
Was that the only question you had?
No, we have. I had like
we have more.
10, but I know
okay, you can ask me a few more. I don't think that would be fair to only give me that one random one and then leave it at that.
Okay, so we have.
If you had people submit questions, we need to answer them.
Okay, well, I'll grab one from, because some of them submitted multiple questions. So let me grab one. We'll grab one from Toaster, and we'll grab one from Andy. Oh my god, Toaster sent one. He sent in 4.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, make them juicy.
And so I think this one is something we haven't really touched on. Toasty asks, what is your de-stressing playlist? And I'm assuming he means music.
Ooh, my de-stressing playlist?
Mm-hmm.
As random as it is, I listen to trailer music. Like epic trailer music playlists on Spotify. That's something for me to decompress to. It's so random. So instead of listening to like death metal and anything that has lyrics to it, I just listen to just instrumental trailer music.
Huh.
It's an oddball thing, but I use that to decompress while I'm also working out. So it's a weird thing, but that's what works for me.
I find trailer music stresses me out because
really? Is it because the suspenseful build up with the
no, well, I'm like imagining it's like a comedy movie, and then every time you hear the sound of a vinyl record needle being scratched.
No, none of the ones that I have on my playlist have anything like that.
Yeah. All right, so you've not got Smash Mouth on there. It's like Hans Zimmer.
Oh yeah, it's a vast variety of music on there.
Very epic. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, very epic. It's stuff that's produced by people who just post it up on YouTube, or it's actual music that's produced by a composer. It's a wide array of stuff.
So, like, really, you need to get into a relationship with the like trailer voice guy.
Possibly.
I mean,
because
I might need to go meet this man. I mean,
because like he's always focusing on the woman's needs, and that's made like abundantly clear every time there's a new Independence Day, and he goes, "Coming this summer."
Right.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
And, that's me.
Luckily, when I listen to trailer music, the trailer voice man's voice is not dubbed in there, or else it would not be calming for me at all.
I thought you.
It would be intense.
I thought you said you were gonna call me back.
God damn it!
If that was to randomly show up while I'm listening to Spotify, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
I'm gonna get a message. God damn it!
God damn it, Ginger.
Yep.
What did you get me into?
You left a 555 number. That's not a real number.
Oh, I love that. Somehow that's so fitting. That feels so fitting for you.
It also sounds kind of stressful, like to, every day is like a trailer reveal.
Yeah.
I feel like my whole life is a fucking movie, so I find the music that fits it very well when I listen to those playlists. I have one for every scenario of life now, basically.
Hey.
It works. If I'm pissed off, I got a playlist for that of trailer music. If I'm mellow, I got one for that.
Like, if my life's a movie, can someone tell, like, fucking Judd Apatow to fuck off and give me some Michael Bay. Give me some action.
Shake things up, my
Yeah,
God,
yeah.
man.
I'm like, stop with this like fucking sallow white guy approaching his 30s, feeling sorry for himself. Shit, and give me some like fucking boobs and big robots, man.
Oh my God.
You're not the only ones out there building boners.
Oh shit!
Michael
Oh,
Bay's got it
snap.
covered. Michael
He
Bay's
went
got
there.
it covered. Oh no. I've not got a penis. Don't worry, Ginger. What? Ginger, what's your de-stress playlist?
It depends on what's stressing me out. If I'm really like in my feels or I'm just like having a head trash day, I will listen to fucking moody, depressing music or like sad, angry music. But then if I'm just like pissed off and I'm like, nope, it's time to fucking disrespect my surroundings. Let's fucking go. Like, then I'm just like death metal punk, fucking just fucking raging. Like, I don't. And it's funny because like recently I've been dipping more into like a little bit more of the sombery stuff, but then it fucking that switch flips and it's like, cool. We're gonna just fucking move everything tippable and breakable out of my room, and I'm just gonna have a one-man circle pit. It's gonna be great. And by the time I'm done, I feel better.
Yeah, what's your de-stressing music? You're like, let the bodies hit the floor.
Actually, yeah. I was driving the week after the passing of a friend, and some song came on that just like hit like proverbial punch to the dick, just like scream crying while I'm driving down the interstate. And
Oh my god.
I reached over and I hit the next button like to change the song, and it was instantly just like a fucking double bass pedal just and I was like, all right, cool. Yes, this is what I need in this exact moment. I feel better now. Like
catharsis, man.
yeah. It was just one of those things that I needed, and that's how I end up my musical taste is just so wide. It's a problem. What about you, Druid?
I mean, where to begin? What kind of stress am I? And I'll throw this to Frost as the guest. What kind of stress am I experiencing in the moment that I like look for the playlist? Give me a scenario. So my current hello.
Yes.
Give me a scenario. I've got so many layers of stress in my life. Like, give me a scenario like a stress level that I need to like combat, and that, like I'll give you your answer. Or Ginger.
Yeah, sorry, no, my audio had cut out for a second, so I didn't hear anything.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, so I basically need a scenario. Like, I can't just give this answer like straight up. So, Frost, give me give me a stressful situation that I need to find my way out of, and I'll give you the playlist.
When the company's owners or corporate are just being utter assholes and they don't understand your workflow and how you work on projects.
I mean,
how do you deal with overworked micromanaging of people?
Well, I'll have you know, Frost, it's a burden I deal with all the time. So I'll start out with Green Day's American Idiot, just to tell them what time it is, with a green backdrop. Billy Joe was so angry on that. What am I saying? No, I listen to smooth jazz when I'm feeling stressed. When I'm feeling lonely, I listen to anything with a saxophone, really, because I think saxophone's a very sexual instrument, and I'm not saying that I need to be put into like a sexual place to de-stress. Quite the opposite. I just need to remember the sensuality of being that comes with feeling at one with yourself, and the saxophone does that for me. The way it lilts, the way it dances like a ballet. Did I say ballet like that? Ballet across the musical stave ignites a fire and a passion in me that is unbridled. And to capitalize on that passion from that by reading 18th century French poetry, that is the only way that I really. And with a menthol mint under my pillow, not to eat, but just to know it's there. And that's my de-stress regimen playlist. You've heard it from the source. It's not George Michael. It's not Careless Whisper, but it's something like that. It's something we can't define. Maybe Steely Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or I don't know. Fucking hell! I feel like I need to come up with like some crazy like death metal answer, like Cannibal Corpse, now to like deal with what you've both said. Both very intense ways to de-stress.
I mean,
I like stuff with like a lot of echo that makes it sound like it was recorded in like an abandoned nuclear power plant or something. So anything that sounds like it was created in a crater, I think that's it. Or saxophone. I feel like I feel so awkward right now the way I'm speaking. I'm just gonna stop. Okay, I'm sorry.
no,
I feel like I've shown so much of myself in that shot. Not really though. I don't. It was like a joke, but then I'm like, I worded it in such a strange way that I feel really odd.
Well, then let's move. Do you want to move to our last guest question then to just
Let's move
fully
on.
alleviate you of that feeling?
I don't know if I'm coming back, but yes.
Okay. So last one, it's a hybrid between Xenos and Real Andy DeSeal, and it has to do with something completely different. Wendy's French fries and a Frosty, yes or double yes? Do
No.
you no? Are you not a sweet and salty?
I do, but not a Wendy's Frosty and fries.
Okay. I
I prefer waffle fries over Wendy's fries.
Facts though.
So I would, if I had to choose my own, I would go with like a Chick-fil-A milkshake and their waffle fries.
Okay.
Don't agree with waffle fries because I feel like it's a bit too much like a prison cell for a potato. But okay, yeah, go for it. Why not?
I mean, it's the it's the sweet and salty, and like, so we have a local chain here called Bebops, and they do sort of like shoestring fries, kind of like McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But the oil that they fry them in is a little bit different, and so they're really crispy while still being soft on the inside. And
see, I want to try that.
And they've got chocolate shakes that are more like a Frosty and less like a McDonald's chocolate shake. And when I'm the same time that I'm listening to the super emotional playlist to get all up in my feels, I'm usually eating a Bebop's large fry and a chocolate shake and some chicky nuggies. And that's like, okay, I'm gonna just and that's I'm a frosty or like a fries and in the shake kind of person.
And then imagining that to the soundtrack of Drowning Pool really it's like Da Vinci painted it.
I mean, do you expect anything else from me though?
A rich canvas. But can I just say, what a missed opportunity when it's called Bebops, that in the breakfast menu they should do the spike bagel instead of the spiced bagel.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I love that reference. Thank you for doing that. But
I don't know. We don't have Wendy's. I don't know what a Frosty is.
oh. It's basically a chocolate milkshake.
Right. Well, I'm not putting a potato in that. Or maybe I would. I don't know how to approach this question without like offending anyone, so I'm just going to stop.
I will say this though, I don't dip my fries in my milkshakes.
Yeah, because I'm guessing that's like what the question's going for, right?
Mhm.
I think
It's
that's
gonna
what they're
be-
trying to go for. I personally have not really done it because usually the shakes I get are like strawberry or cookies and cream, so that's an interesting combination on a fry.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can
that
I'll
definitely
will-
see
try
that.
it. I'll try it. I'll try it with a vanilla milkshake or a
The
regular chocolate one, but
yeah.
never tried it that way.
Well, it's a phenomenon like putting fries in milkshakes. I'd never actually heard of it until maybe somewhere around the pandemic when like McDonald's started doing this ad campaign here where they said like, "Do you put your fries in your milkshake?" And I couldn't believe it because it just doesn't make sense to me.
It's
I mean, I don't.
it was
I have
some
nothing.
it was something we did as kids, and now as an adult, like I don't get milkshakes hardly ever. I've had maybe 3 Bebop's milkshakes in the last year and a half. Like I don't
Yeah.
get milkshakes. I bought 2 pints of ice cream for the first time in literal years. And since I was married, which has been at least 4 years, like I bought ice cream for the first time in a long ass time. I don't fucking I don't I don't do it.
Well,
Like
so happy for you, by the way, that you you were able to buy ice cream again.
it was
Wow, it just sounds so happy that you were able to do that.
I mean, I don't. I just don't want it. I don't crave it. Like I've got a friend who has an ice cream shop, and I'll go in and get like a scoop to support him. But I don't. I'm not like, hey, what's the new flavor this week, Alex? Can I get a scoop of that and the other new flavor? Like I don't. No, I don't want ice cream that
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, you're like some kind of badass reporter. You're like, the only scoop I'm looking for is the news.
God.
And then like
damn.
Alex is just there as you like forlornly throw away his like lemon sorbet on the floor outside.
Pretty much.
Yeah, take that, asshole.
Oh. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I wonder if it's I don't know because everybody that I know who does it, it's very much a Midwest kind of thing. And so I
Oh,
don't
really?
yeah, like so Wendy's was founded in I want to say it was Dublin, Ohio. And so I mean that's Midwest. Culver's is a Midwest thing. Bebop's is a Midwest thing. Like and those are your big ice cream and or like milkshake and french fry nonsense.
Yeah, so they're like, they don't have like access to the wider world. Small town.
Yeah.
Let's put it in, see what happens.
Yeah.
Strawberry fries. I'm a
Ugh.
ketchup guy, man. I'm so basic. I'll put the fries in ketchup.
I I don't even eat french fries all that often either.
Okay.
So I don't know. But All that being said,
so sorry guys, that was really disappointing for both of you.
Andy will revolt to us privately, and it'll be fine.
All right. Was there another question?
There are a few. Who is a historical figure that you think you could take in a fight, and why?
That is a good one.
Yeah.
And I think we'll call that the final one.
Yeah.
Give me a second to think about that one. What historical figure could I?
I was just waiting for someone to just like come out with one straight away. Like they've been like thinking about it through the
I
ages.
honestly have not thought about this.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Ginger Druid, feel free to step in first. I'm trying to. Who in the hell would I pick?
Napoleon. I just knock him down and sit on him. He's tiny.
You're such a
wow.
fucker.
That was a good one.
Such a fucker. I was going to say Napoleon. Now I can't. He just looks like he'd be a pushover.
You look like you could just walk over and just go boop and just push him over.
He looks like 18th century Danny DeVito penguin cosplay.
I'm such an asshole.
Yeah. Also, you picked like the shortest person you could.
No, that would not the shortest. What? But fuck Napoleon. I don't know. I've had
Napoleon.
I've had very few hot takes this episode, so I feel like I need to get like one in there.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure our French listeners are really upset. Yeah, sorry. Fuck Napoleon. You heard it here first. His conquest of Europe ends now.
Yep.
All you Napoleon apologists out there, and we know you're listening. You fucking in your little hats.
Sorry.
Putting your hands in your breast pocket. Sacre bleu.
Such
Ginger.
a fucking hot take for no fucking reason.
Like fuck you. Like I believe it now because you did not have to say fuck Napoleon,
dude. I don't know what the fuck my problem is.
What you know the Duke of Wellington like iced that fucker years ago, right? And you're like still holding the grudge, like you won't wait till he's in the 7th level of hell. He's not like deep enough. What the fuck is that? Napoleon, your time is done.
I don't fucking know. Frost, can you distract from this?
That is so fucking dark.
I'm gonna go super out of left field. I think I would probably pick like an Egyptian pharaoh. I feel like that would be a fun little challenge.
Yeah, well, I'm really interested in hearing how you're gonna fucking pick one out.
No fucking clue. I just thought about that because I've been into like ancient Egyptian stuff lately, and I'm thinking like, that question was asked, I'm like, fuck, what historical figure?
I've really got.
I was like, you know what?
Just any pharaoh. I've got a
just
real
any pharaoh. Or Ramesses, or like I don't fucking know.
I've really got bug up my ass about Ptolemy II.
Oh shit! Oh.
Any pharaoh you've got what? So you've said Ramses, Alexander the Great.
Yeah, the sun god or something. Yeah, but I don't fucking know. I can't think of like any.
Look at you, so sad. The sun god or some shit. He ain't nothing. I'm ready. Fucking hold these guys back, like sun god or something like that means anything.
I told you it was completely out of fucking left field, dude.
I love it.
Yeah,
I mean, go big or go home, right?
Right.
Yeah. She's going.
I mean, I'm not gonna go with Napoleon. I mean, I agree. I'm taller than Napoleon as well, but I mean, no offense, but Ginger, I think had the best fucking answer to that question.
Well, you're going to Ramses II and beating him over the head with his own stone tablet. You're like, fucking come at me, bitch. Like, you're fucking taking your earrings out. Ginger's there. She's fucking kicking Napoleon on the floor.
Didn't she say you sit on him too?
Yeah. Well, I mean, after he's dead. After he's dead, just to prove your dominion.
I'm such a fucking asshole.
I don't even know what the fuck to say. You two are fucking sick, man. Alexander the Great and Napoleon. I didn't realise I was here with a couple of warlords.
I was gonna say. Fuck.
Yeah, like Jesus, like I can't wait to see you both plan your conquest.
I mean,
Ginger's sending 2 boats up to the south of France. She's sending it to Nice. Meanwhile, Frost has got like a couple of battleships going up to Giza to take down Ramses II for the second time, ironically.
God damn it.
I mean, who am I even meant to fucking say now?
Use the Mortal Kombat sound effect round 1.
Get over here! This is like Sacre Bleu, I'm Napoleon. He doesn't. Napoleon's older than the fucking snares, man. The SNES.
Fuck.
What the fuck am I meant to say now? I don't know. I had it in my head. I was gonna. Oh well, first I was gonna say Napoleon. Then you said it. I was like, kick him while he's down. I can't say that now because he's been fucking bodied.
I mean, here's the thing. Neither one of you guys have seen me in person. I am not a woman of a small stature. I was on the defensive line of the high school football team. Like,
so you can take. So I can take him down like he's nothing. So that's it.
Like, it's
gone.
one of those things where it's just like I am rather large. My legs are rather muscular. I'm really good at knocking people down if I try. I feel like Napoleon would be a good, an easy one to do.
Well, he's not a bowling pin. For fuck's sake, he's a human being. I've visited his tomb.
Fuck.
And then only to hear on a long form chat podcast that you would just spit on that grave. Not that I agree with his policies, but fucking hell. What am I meant to say? What can I possibly say to that? Ramses II.
Fucking hate me sometimes. Oh my god.
Oh my god. I can't even think of any historical figure outside of those two. Like, were there people before Napoleon?
Yeah.
There sure as fuck were people after when Ginger was done with him. The pharaohs. Like, what am I meant to go for? Like, what? Julius Caesar? No. Oh fuck! You two have made this like this is like the impossible task, right? Oh, God. You know, fuck it, man. Call back. I'm going for Richard Simmons.
Oh my god.
I'm going for Richard Simmons. Like, fuck you.
You'll see his leg warmers in hell.
Hot damn.
Yeah, I'm taking him down. Sorry, stop trying to make me work out without donating like a few hundred bits. Richard Simmons, I'm coming for your relentless optimism. Once I've done my quad exercises, I can try and fight off the inevitable conquest of Ginger and Frost as they take down 2 of the biggest fucking tyrants of history.
I mean,
unbelievable.
We're obviously women who have a drive for bigger things.
Yeah, what Ramses II? You building the pyramid different.
Like I was like, oh no.
Like, well, it's funny because like, I've got the noise gate on, and like I can just hear. It sounds like you're both laughing in dial-up.
Oh.
But like fucking Napoleon and Ramses II. Richard Simmons. That's such a bad answer.
I mean,
in comparison.
sorry,
I'll kill Hitler.
I was gonna say my second choice was fucking Hitler, so
yeah, he'd probably enjoy it.
Probably.
Fuck. Shave off the rest of his mustache.
Andy, I hope that question was worth it, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, and please write in and tell us which historical figure you'll conquer.
Yeah, tell us yours.
Yeah, maybe it'll be Queen Boadicea of the fucking Anglo-Saxons. Maybe it'll be Genghis Khan. Fuck it, have a pop. It's like fucking Punch out here.
I mean, Genghis Khan would be an interesting battle, though. That would be an interesting fight. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Wow. I'm just here like what?
What?
You're like, oh, I want to watch. I want to see. Like, I feel like you've took down Napoleon. Now you just want to see what Genghis Khan's made of, so you can fucking take him out next.
Listen, there is a part of me that used to actually fight. So it's like I've considered taking up boxing. So like
Yeah.
there's part of me that's just like, no, I'd be interested to see the tactics. Plus I'm a
Yeah.
giant fucking weirdo. So if it wasn't
Right, yeah.
evident.
Yeah, a giant fucking weirdo, and the ability to take someone out in hand-to-hand combat always go well together.
I
It's a marriage made in
mean,
heaven. It's like TikTok. It's like TikTok and SSRIs.
I make up for it by raising lots of money for charity, okay?
Yeah.
So we're gonna
I'm
fucking
still not. I'm not over it.
while Druid tries to collect himself. Frost, thank you for being here. I hope that it was at least a little bit enjoyable for you.
It was. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and happy Bastille Day.
Is there anything that you would like to promote?
Check me out on Twitch every Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday at 6 p.m. Central.
And you has a YouTube channel and a TikTok?
I do has a YouTube channel and a TikTok that barely gets used, but it's Frost Louvre all across the board on Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok.
Perfect. Well, Frost, thank you so much. I'm so glad that this finally happened. I didn't know what would happen.
I know.
And
well,
now
we found out, didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering if
we really fucking bottomed out at the end. So thank you for seeing that.
Listen, it's fine.
If nothing is ever pure chaos, then what is life?
Facts.
And don't take too much attention to those links, because she's changing her fucking name to Cleopatra, Queen of the fucking Desert.
Well, guys, thank you so much, and thank you as always to our wonderful patrons, Scott Shass, ADHD Toaster, Red, and Lava Monster. We appreciate you guys so much for your support, help keeping us running. Make sure you guys check out the website, the YouTube, the Patreon, all the places, all the things, all the stuff, and make sure you go show Frost some love, because Frost is an amazing creator, and I'm so happy that we finally got her on the pod. So,
and stay tuned for me and Ginger making boners on streams very soon.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, and thanks for listening.